1974 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB though. That's why Grealish & Co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
Good morning, you're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn Aherne, alongside former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
What was that, the John Stones sore shoulder?
No, I've lost the arm to my chair.
Oh
Look.
my word.
I've got one arm on my chair.
Oh, it's going to be...
And I've got to put my arm on it and realised I haven't got one.
Who finds it more comfortable to take that off? I'll do an investigation. We'll find you a new chair. There's two over there in the corner. In fact, I'll do this. You stand up and go get yourself a new chair. We'll see how slick you are. There you go. He's off. And he's off. Stick with us. Coming up for you, South Americans are in the headlines as Bruno Guimaraes closes in on a move to Arsenal and Vinny Jr. commits to Real Madrid. Could Christian Romero be heading to Atletico Madrid? Darren Ambrose won't be sorry to see the back of him.
Let them have him.
Really?
Yeah, let them have him.
He can't go to Arsenal.
The liability. Give Vicky van der Ven the captaincy. If they want him, they've got to pay big money to get him.
They don't want him.
And then we'll be laughing at them when they lose him every couple of games from a red card.
How do you really feel, Darren? Get off the fence. In other news, can Roberto De Zerbi's side ruffle some top six feathers this season? We'll discuss Spurs later on in the show. Gianni Infantino is clinging on by a thread at the top of FIFA, despite UEFA maintaining their World Cup boycott. Norway have called for their FIFA president to resign after his attempt to sell off stakes in the World Cup to a private investor.
This is a very, very bitter and public defeat for him, and has caused immense ructions within FIFA and the football community.
Former FA chairman David Bernstein, he's a fascinating listen actually. He's going to join us later on in the show. And after Middlesbrough defeated Wrexham last night, there's loads more Carabao Cup action coming up for you this weekend, including West Ham against Portsmouth at the London Stadium. West Ham head coach Nuno Espirito Santo is looking forward to their first competitive game of the season in front of the West Ham faithful.
Tomorrow we can again beat the record in attendance for the first game of the Carabao Cup. Portsmouth also is going to bring a lot of fans, so we are delighted with our fans, and it's up to us to give back them.
And we're delighted to be joined by legendary commentator Ian Darke to look ahead to that one a little bit later on. And can Tony Cascarino get a chair that works for him? 03717 223344 is the number. 81089. West Ham fans, are you confident you're heading straight back up this season? You're back out at the London Stadium today. How are you feeling about this season ahead? Come and get involved. 03717 223344 81089 if you want to send a text to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. All right, down there.
I know, it's...
Is there not a button to bring
it's the first time I'm looking up to you.
I know.
In this chair.
Shots fired, 606. That is a wonky old chair you've got there.
Yeah.
If you were watching on the YouTube channel or the Samsung TV, you would have seen Cass carrying a wheelie behind us there, trying to move that around. This one's better, but is there not a lever to pull it up?
Yeah, I know. I tried, but it went down.
Oh, for
So I pushed it the wrong way, but I'll get it done in a minute.
big backside.
Now, I've always been blessed with one of my favourite players, or probably the most favourite player ever, was Kenny Dalglish. And I always used to think I was Kenny Dalglish in the playground. And everyone else said the only thing you've got similar to him is a big backside, which Kenny did. He did it brilliantly, used his backside. I mean, there's a lot of players who use their, that blocking sort of movement with their backside.
Yeah.
And do it well. I wasn't as good as that, but I always had, the probably is the biggest I know, and he won't mind me saying it, Neil Ruddock. Oh.
What, big bum?
Oh, Neil Ruddock.
Big bunda?
Well, even Simon Jordan said when he signed him for Crystal Palace, he said the shorts he had to get Neil Ruddock when he turned up. and I remember Neil being at Swindon and seeing him one day playing. I remember thinking, cool, Neil's putting a bit of timber. It was probably near the summer or just the end of the summer,
He's a big fella.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about men, especially kind of when they haven't seen each other for a while? They're so quick to fat shame their mates. And I think, imagine I walked into see my girlfriends and I was like, oh, you've put on a few, Tim. What size are you? They'd be like, you're the worst friend ever. Would his guys call each other out?
No, but it's
good fun. I'm not saying, but if women wouldn't dare.
No, you wouldn't say if you, obviously, it's different when it comes from the opposite set, but guys tend to, and women would say things that men would be uncomfortable saying. Surely,
we're probably a bit more.
You're different. You're comfortable in other arenas than men are.
I'd be like, I like your Botox. And then we're on a level. Whereas if I went in and went, size of your arse, then maybe we've got a problem.
Yeah. No, men do it all the time. Especially, you imagine a dressing room, and lads come back from pre-season. This is years gone by because that just doesn't happen today. But players will put on £6-8 regularly. And sometimes you'd be getting stick if you hadn't. Yeah. Because it'd be like, oh, you're in it.
Loser. Yeah.
You haven't had a great summer, have you?
I think it must be so difficult on footballers then, like that. I know, God love them, they make a lot of money and stuff, but when they have got that moment to switch off, there's probably that element in the back of the mind going, but in 3 weeks' time I need to be back at it. And, I mean, £6 over a summer's actually quite a lot of weight then to try and burn.
Oh, it is now. £2. I think the marker now is everyone's like £2. 1 kilo. And, you're not coming back over. You'd be really put on a strict regime straight away, even with a few pound on. And look, I was very happy when I finished my football career, Shebahn. I wasn't. I didn't have any regrets. I couldn't wait to hang my boots up when I did. I was like, I'd had enough, and I didn't want to play anymore. And I could have carried on. I had a year's contract at a club called Red Star in Paris, and I just couldn't carry on. I'd lost all my drive, my enthusiasm. I'd had a bad knee, but it's just, I loved my life as being a player at that particular time. So I was ready, and you do. We've gone from big backsides to finishing your career.
I know. All in 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good chat all the same. I like a blather. Come and get involved with the show this morning. I guess live football is back. It's back here at talkSPORT anyway. In the fashion of the Carabao Cup. Last night we brought you Middlesbrough's win over Wrexham from the first round of the Cup. And this weekend we've got 3 more commentaries coming up for you on talkSPORT today. And then it was like it was never away. West Ham take on Portsmouth 3 o'clock. That's on talkSPORT 2. Colchester Southampton's at 5:30 at talkSPORT 2. And tomorrow Mansfield take on Sheffield United, 4 o'clock talkSPORT 2, and Game Day Live with Adrian Durham is here at 1 o'clock today. I texted him yesterday and said, any chance you get yourself back to work?
Well, he had a long summer.
Oh, I know. He deserves a break.
Yeah, he was working a lot. I'm sure he was going from pillar to post, wasn't he? In America, Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
exactly.
Just saying, get your backside back to work.
Yeah, he
Live football.
talking to
mate, yeah.
backsides again.
I know. Adrian's backside. We can't wait for the return of domestic football. Did you watch Wrexham Borough last night?
Yeah, I did. I watched quite a bit of it, purely because the guy, Will Lancashire, who scored, I wanted to watch him because I obviously knew him or seen him at Tottenham. And then he went on loan to Oxford and got a number of goals. And that's the only club he ever scored for. And I kept thinking, he's 21 now. And it's a bold move by Middlesbrough because he had a decent season at Oxford, being their top goal scorer. And I kept thinking, before the game, it was, I've said this numerous times, Middlesbrough would have got promoted if they had someone who could get them goals, a centre forward that would chip in and get them goals regularly. Middlesbrough would have got automatic for me. No problem. They're a really good side. Loads of threats all over the pitch. And so I was interested to see Will Lancashire last night and see him get a goal, the way he took his goal, and the ovation the fans get. Because it's really important. He's 21. He comes off the pitch and he gets a really great ovation. It's a big thing for goalkeepers to make saves early on in their career, and it's a big thing for strikers to get goals.
Remind you of yourself in any way, 6'2" striker?
Yeah, well, he's still going to fill out a bit more, but he's a player. You can tell there's way more in there at 21. And I think Middlesbrough, the reason why they've gone for him and he's paid 10 million quid for him. He's only scored goals at Oxford. He didn't get goals at Tottenham. Obviously, he was a very young man when he was at the football club, but he was loaned out. So I just felt it was a big moment for him to get off and running a little bit, so yeah, delighted for him. And Middlesbrough, I think there'll be a real threat this season. If he scores goals for them, most definitely will be.
Will Lancashire, Cass's thoughts on him there, and you're lucky he pronounced his name correctly because for the first half hour this morning in the office he called him Will Lankshank. The boy, the fella Lankshank.
Yeah, no, I've seen him a few times. I was just, we was having a bit of a laugh in there. Yeah. Anyway, not the first time or the last time either.
Will Langshank, same thing. Listen, there was a standout moment as well in that game last night in terms of the new rules.
Yeah.
From substitutions. We saw that player coming on, delayed by a minute.
Well, it is him again, isn't it?
It was him again, being delayed and down to 10 men, whilst the substitute took more than 10 seconds to get his backside off the pitch. So they've instantly gone on that. There's no messing around with these new rules. We saw that last night in that game for Wrexham and their defeat away at Middlesbrough. We'll get into that later on in the show.
Do you remember them doing that? When it was the 6-second rule with the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
When that first came out, the first season of that, I can't remember what year it was, but they literally were going,
they
free kick
strong.
from the goalkeeper. Yeah. That literally died a death.
I know.
Over the years.
Well, you would like to think they're going to start as they mean to go on this time round. And there's quite a funny clip actually of the player coming off the pitch and the manager saying, "Don't say we didn't tell you." Read your emails. So we've seen that change instantly last night. Just the 29 ties coming up today as well, Cass. Anything stand out you're looking forward to today?
QPR, Millwall.
Oh, I saw Millwall got Lyndon Dykes.
Yeah. I think he's on a year's contract. Okay. So obviously, Alex Neil's looking at him and going maybe a bit more experience. He did it last year, obviously with Bannon coming in. So Yeah, I think that's an interesting tie. But West Ham, Portsmouth is another really big one.
Okay. All updated for you here on talkSPORT. Game Day Live with the go. Adrian Durham returns to
Birmingham. West Ham, Birmingham.
West Ham, Birmingham. Looking forward. No, West Ham, Portsmouth.
Yeah, so I was right in the
You
first
were
time.
right.
Yeah.
Don't panic. Yeah, looking forward to the football. It's back. You can let us know your thoughts on your team as well. Are you heading out already? Actually, coming in the taxi today, there was three lads standing in the corner at the traffic lights with their Wrexham tops on. I thought, where the hell were you going? Where, they must have gone out back into London.
Yeah.
Just good to see it. Good to see that football is coming back. It's also the opening day of the National League season today as well. We'll keep you across all of it here on talkSPORT. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll discuss Liverpool's summer spending and whether we've written off the Reds too soon. Good morning.
I anticipate Arsenal to absolutely go again and just be as good as they've been this season. The key element for me on the title this year is Rodri. If Rodri's a Manchester City player throughout the whole course of the season, Manchester City will win the league.
That's a shouting off, that isn't it?
Do you disagree? If Manchester City lose Rodri and he goes to Real Madrid, they will not win the league.
I know what you're saying, but I look at it as well because Anderson's coming, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
he's not Rodri.
I know he's not Rodri.
But he'll benefit from playing alongside him.
Yeah, that would happen.
But if you leave him on his own in there, I think you've got carnage.
I do know what you're saying, but I think there's more of a factor that Maresca might not be up for it either. You don't know yet.
I think he's up for it.
You reckon he's up for it?
I think he's up for it.
We'll see.
He knows that club. He's been at that club. He understands how that club
You're
works.
You're talking like a real Manchester City supporter.
He went to Chelsea. He did.
Are you Blackburn? You're a Blackburn fan, yeah?
Yeah, we'll talk.
Hold on a minute.
We'll talk about their dismal summer in a minute.
What about the other teams?
Why are you doing this? Why are you deflecting?
Well, I'm just trying to say.
All I was doing was talking about the Premier League title race. That's all I was saying. And I was just saying that the big impact, the key piece of information for me is Rodri being a Man City player throughout the whole course of the season. And if he is, Manchester City will win the league.
Cool, but that's a shout.
Do you not think so?
So where was he last season?
Getting back from his ACL, mate. Do you not think so?
No, listen, mate.
So you're tipping Arsenal. You think so? You believe in what I said at the start of the show, that you believe that we're entering a dynasty time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't hang my hat on it.
Good morning. Oh yes, Yes, that'll get you pumped for a Saturday morning. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Name that song.
Wannabe.
Well done, you.
Oh, it was serious. That's not really hard. It's one of the classics.
It is a classic.
Yeah. Great. I
Banger.
feel like yesterday, then when they all come out dancing out that place. Well, that's in London, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Was that the Ritz?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was Camden or the Ritz, something
Come
like that.
dance.
But anyway, it was a classic.
It really was. In the video when Sporty Spice gets on the table,
Yeah.
and all the posh people are eating their meals.
There's some famous people in there, isn't there? In that
Is
video,
there? I didn't know.
I think there is.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Sam just says it's St Pancras Hotel is where
Oh,
it's
is it?
filmed.
Yeah, yeah. I think
there
there's
you
some famous people in around the table.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Oh, there you go.
I'm sure people will start saying that someone was in this video, and yeah.
Do you know, we should recreate that. You know, when they go up the steps as well and they do the
Yeah.
little shimmy. Oh, that was just my childhood, and this will make you feel old because on this day, in fact, on this month, the 8th of August, 1996, this was at #1. Oh. And I remember going into Woolworths and my mum being there with me and her saying, okay, I'll get you.
Woolworths
And it-
don't exist now.
It was the tape. It was the little
Yeah.
tape, and I think I got home and I just put it in the CD, the tape player, and oh my god,
Yeah,
life was made. You know.
yeah. Defining moments in your life, isn't there?
Yeah.
I had that in the 70s when I went to a record shop in Chatham on the way to Gillingham, and I bought because you could get vinyl on import, and I bought Street Life, the famous album.
What does it sound like?
Crusaders. It was by the
Oh, yeah.
Crusaders.
Mhm.
Street Life. I think it's Randy Crawford, and it sings it. And yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And
That's the
I got that on
beauty of
import.
music, isn't it? Like it'll always take you back to those memories. That's why music is.
Yeah, of course, music is everything.
I know. There was something.
So imagine life without sport and music.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boring.
It gives so much pleasure to people, music and sport.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair play to the Spice Girls. All these years later, I can't believe that does make you feel old. 30 years ago.
Makes me feel even older.
I'm sure it does. Shout out on the text 81089. Morning, guys. Don't forget about the Mighty Wolves and their win last night, 3-0.
Yeah.
Of course, over Port Vale. And
Sort
the
of a
return
derby.
of the Mexican Wolf, Raul Jimenez,
Yeah.
as well. Yes, you can get in touch with us this morning. Let us know about your team last night. And if you're heading out to the games today. Looking forward to it all ahead. We've got you posted on GameDay Live here on talkSPORT. Let's talk about your Liverpool cast. Yesterday, they agreed a season-long loan deal for Barcelona defender Ronald Araujo, adding some much-needed depth in the centre-back position. They've lost Canate to Real Madrid. They've signed in the new Jeremy Jacket. He's struggling for fitness. Joe Gomez picked up a knock in pre-season. Giovanni Leone is still recovering from the ACL injury he suffered last year. This deal is a straight loan for the 27-year-old who signed a contract until 2031 last year. Charlie Austin says he thinks the signing was an absolute necessity for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's needed, it's well and truly needed. Like I said, we need someone else, we need strength. I think Liverpool are 4 or 5 signings short, I really do. But this is a good statement. This is a statement of intent for me. It really is. And he's going to play with Virgil at the back. And it just shows that at least Iraola's trying to put Liverpool in the direction that it needs to go and what he's obviously been promised that he can do in this transfer window.
Yeah. Where do you stand on this? Good signing? Happy with this, Cass?
Well, centre backs are needed, definitely. I mean, obviously the loss of Canate is a big one. I'm not too. I mean, a lot of talk, Shebahn, about Liverpool and the lack of business. I mean, it didn't work out too badly in the past, does it? The first year of Arne Slot coming on, they didn't do too much. You could argue that maybe the squad was in better place then. There'll be more signings coming with Liverpool, for sure. I'm not too concerned. I think you've brought in a guy who manages, and as what we've seen with Bournemouth, he improves players. I'm comfortable with that. I wanted him at the football club because I felt that that's the type of manager. I talked about him very early on about I want him to be my manager at the club I support. And if that works out, hopefully, yes. But I'm sure he'll get players in that, they've got the lad Munoz coming, who's another dangerous, not so well known, but I've watched him play a few times, and he's quite direct. He could play a winger, he could play as a midfielder. So I'm optimistic that Liverpool will be way better than they were last year because it was a terrible defence of the title.
Yeah. In terms of business, would you not rather it all wrapped up and done and dusted now? Or is
Well,
that
managers would.
business is business. If the transfer window's still open for how long, they're going to try and get the best deal they can.
Yeah, I mean, look, last year Liverpool tried to get things done quickly with Newcastle over Isaac. It dragged and dragged and dragged, and what happened? Isaac had a pretty poor season, blighted by injury, didn't look sharp, didn't even look close to the player that Newcastle had. So Wirtz came, I thought done okay, but I'd like to think there has to be a lot of improvement on him this year because I thought he was indifferent.
Yeah.
At times he looked good. We all know he's fantastic technically, but he's got to be much more of a team player.
In terms of Vinicius Junior, obviously staying at Real Madrid, not going to Arsenal, their pivot has become a chat, a conversation. Is it going to be Marcus Rashford? Would it be Bradley Barcola? But he's obviously linked to your Liverpool as well. Would you like to see that one get done? Is he the player that you would want?
Well, if he wants to come, yeah. I think he's a hell of a player, Barcola. He's direct. He's not the greatest of finishers. I know it sounds amazing for the amount of money that's being talked about him. He was in and out at times at PSG, but there's a real talent there. But the PSG have got an Kvaratskhelia, then Doué, Dembele. You're talking a really super high level, and Barcola is exactly that. So I would do, but only if he wants to come. I'm not interested in players that, if they feel like they're doing you a favour, coming to the football club.
Yeah, completely agree. Where do you stand with Liverpool then next season? Do you think they're challengers?
Don't know if they're there. I think if they make Champions League, I think it will be a decent season for Iraola. I was amazed watching Bournemouth sometimes last year of how good they were. Fantastically well drilled, great defensively, always offered threats, were dangerous, would come after you in your own backyard, they'd go to your ground. Didn't care if it was the most elite club in the country. Bournemouth were coming after you.
Yeah.
And I think he will try and emulate that, obviously, at Liverpool. So for me, it's really exciting to see how it develops.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting season on paper now, looking ahead, because obviously a lot of people are tipping Arsenal to retain the title.
Yeah.
And you've not even then touched on Manchester City. Chelsea are in the conversation as well. How will Manchester United...
They've all strengthened to a degree, haven't they?
Really have.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's still more to, I'm sure, from Manchester United and Liverpool. I'm sure there's still more to come.
Yeah, you would hope so as well. Interesting stuff. Don't forget, the new Premier League season is underway on Friday the 21st of August. The champions Arsenal will host Coventry live for you here on talkSPORT. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transported. You can keep your business moving with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. Terms and conditions and exclusions always apply. Stick with us. Legendary commentator Ian Darke is coming up later to give his thoughts on the upcoming season as well. But next, how do you follow Wrexham from Australia? We'll find out by speaking to a fan down under next.
Look at Real Madrid. Go and look at... This is the point that I think Gabby was making this morning. I know that he was making it regarding trophies and what have you, but look at the brand value.
180 million.
There you go. Right. That's how big that football club is.
Right, that's a lot.
That's how big that is as a worldwide entity. 180 million, and you're talking about him coming to a club that has 32 million followers on Instagram. Again, these are very basic metrics. Very basic metrics. But Vinicius Junior is in a completely different stratosphere. All this talk about him coming to Arsenal throughout the whole course of the summer has just been manipulation from an agent trying to get the dude a few more quid. That's what it is. He was never in a million years going to be an Arsenal player this summer. That's what it is. It's just manipulating the market. Like, see if I can get some more money for my guy. Yeah. Why would he come to Arsenal?
I said that was agent talk. Agent talk. Just using Arsenal as a
leverage.
A tool.
Yeah. Arsenal are interested. Oh, right, wicked. Brilliant. Arsenal, champions of England. Right, well, let's use them. Yeah. Let's use them. Go back to the table with the Real Madrid lads. Yeah, he's coming out of contract. You know what I mean? He needs a few more zeros on this contract. Yeah. Okay. We're going to sign Yandy Mande. Let's put some pressure on you. No, don't worry about that. Vinny Jr. ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Is it?
Come on. You can't leave. I just don't see leaving Real Madrid as a Unless you don't leave Real Madrid unless Real Madrid leaves you.
That's it.
That's it, mate.
Unless you come to the end of your time on your way, son.
Can't have a supermodel girlfriend and you leaving your supermodel girlfriend.
She leaves you.
For the dinner lady. Like, you know what I mean?
The dinner lady. You can't call Arsenal a dinner lady.
Oh, it's love, innit? It's love.
It's the weekend sports breakfast here on talkSPORT. Get ready for another heatwave, baby. And live football is back. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino. Lots of people looking forward to the football. Good morning to Franny. He says, no mention of Partick Thistle beating Livingston last night. Yes, go on, Franny. Great to hear. Get in touch with your footy chat this morning. Some of your headlines: Man City have rejected an opening offer. I actually think that's a disgrace. 38.5 million from Barcelona for midfielder Rodri. They having a laugh?
Well, I don't know. What would you think the opening offer should be then?
45.
45. So they're going to refuse 45, and then you're going to go to what, 55? Do you think? Because I would imagine it will get done for around 50.
See, I'm thinking more 55.
Yeah.
Late 50s.
Maybe add-ons with making add-ons, but the fact he's 30 and that's not old. I mean, he had a really difficult time. That his injury was one of the longest that he never got back to his best. It took him the best part of 18 months. But by the end of the season last year, he was starting to play really well again. And obviously the World Cup, it was back to his very best.
Is there a flaw, though, in terms of transfers when it just comes sometimes down to that age? You know, he's got an incredible wealth of experience, and with age comes more experience. That's a huge benefit to the team.
Well, you get 5 years out of him. If he stays like he is physically, he easily play 5 years. He retains the ball as well as anybody that's ever played the game.
Ever.
Yeah, absolutely. He's so good at keeping the ball. And it was a pity because I watched him a couple of times last year in the early part, and you could see he was nowhere near back from his injury. Now, some people with a ACL recovering 9 months to a year. It took him the best part, like I said, 18 months.
It was a long time.
And I remember doing a piece on it and saying, I'm just not sure if he's ever going to get back to his best because it was so long. I'm absolutely delighted to eat humble pie on it because I know it. We all know how good he is. Man City fans know how great he is. We all do.
That's why I think that 38.5 million, I'm like, that's a bit of a slap in the face. Like, you're never going to get that. Don't.
No, you're not going to get him for that. Of course you're
around it, of course not.
You hold on to him.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got more on that a little bit later on, by the way. In other news, Premier League new boys Coventry City have smashed their club record transfer fee for Ghanaian international Caleb Yerenke, former Norwegian side FC Nordsjælland. Looking forward to seeing him at Coventry City. And France say they're still planning to compete in the Under-20 Women's World Cup next month, despite a threat from UEFA to boycott FIFA competitions. It's not known yet whether England will play, with the FA unable to provide a comment when asked if the team will take part in the tournament in Poland. It's due to start in 29 days. Bit of a disaster, actually, that one. Or a mess, not a disaster. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Let's focus on Middlesbrough against Wrexham. Last night, Middlesbrough defeated Wrexham 1-0 in the Carabao Cup first round. The game was live for you here on talkSPORT.
A new season awaits. Let the fun begin here on talkSPORT. It's the Red of Borough against the Black of Wrexham, placing the second round of the Carabao Cup up for grabs. Ball is floated in. It's a great ball in. Oh, what a save! What a save it was from Ward, who denies Middlesbrough at point-blank range. Wrexham are on the attack. Ball to the far post, and there was the debutant Danny Imre 6 yards out, and he misses his kick there. He was one-on-one with Sol Bryn, and Bryn and Borough relieved. That ball went out on the near side. Heads it back on the volley. It's in! And there's a first goal for the £10 million man, Will Lancashire. Beautiful cushion header by Berhalter, and Lancashire volleys it in. Borough have lift off. Whittaker feeds it back to Jones. He's going to hit it. No, turns onto his left foot. Just couldn't get the shot away. Falls to Whittaker, hits the post. The referee will blow the whistle, and it's a happy Riverside. Missed out heartbreaking in the playoffs last year. Well, they've got their cup campaign off to a good start. First win of the year for Hellberg and Borough. Lancashire's goal makes it Borough 1, Wrexham 0.
We're back. Mark Wilson and former Newcastle defender Steve Howie on commentary duty there, which leads us nicely to our brand new feature. It's time now for this.
I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be that man who walks 1,000 miles.
Let's hear ya! Yeah, our brand new feature cast. This is called The Faraway End.
Right.
And it's a nice conversation. I mean, the amount of times you're sitting here in the morning and people from all over the world get in touch. All over the world. And it's easy for us to focus on our doorstep. But we see you. We hear you out there in Australia, in America, beyond. 81089, you're always getting in touch. But now it's time for you to get in touch about your team far, far away, wherever it is you are. We can speak to an Aussie, Adrian, the Wrexham fan. Good morning. G'day. Adrian, how's things?
Adrian?
Yeah, good. It's amazing to hear you guys are having a nice little heat wave while we're freezing our butts off over here.
So tell us, Adrian, is it a family link to Wrexham, or is it just a team you saw and you just wanted to follow, related to the movies or Hollywood, whatever? Tell us your love affair of being a Wrexham fan.
So I've always loved football. My mum's born in Scotland, and Glasgow Celtic all the way through. So it was basically just trying to find a team in the pyramid, really, of I guess the EFL slash Premier League, and then one of my favorite actors, ironically, Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Great
During
show.
lockdown, especially where I was based in Melbourne at the time, we had a lot of lockdown, so a lot of time to read a lot of articles and things going through. So I got heavily invested in the bid for Wrexham, and that's kind of where it started.
Nice,
Right.
nice. I mean, I did wonder, would it be a tie to a family member who supported Wrexham all their life? Or I mean, the impact that Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds have had in bringing in new fans, and I think I have such a following of Wrexham because of Always Sunny in Philadelphia as well. I mean, it's not spoken enough about over here, Adrian. It's such a good show, and it's close to the bone, Cass.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and brilliant. And to tell us also, Adrian, on the being a Wrexham fan, and how do you watch games? Because obviously the clock is completely opposite.
Yeah, it's a bit topsy-turvy, that's for sure. For example, the Borough game this morning was 4:30 a.m. Adelaide time. So that was fun. And yeah, usual kickoffs are usually range between, if we're lucky, 11 p.m.'s a really good slot. But as Wrexham have climbed the pyramid, it's gotten harder and harder. Because now we're looking at, what are we looking at now? I think, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. kickoffs, and it's just a bit harder to work out whether to nap before it or sleep and get up for it. Stay up for it,
I mean, you're 17,000 kilometres away from Wrexham, where you are in Adelaide, so that's a pretty good commitment to stay across absolutely everything. See, when you watch Wrexham as well, do you try and embrace kind of like the Wrexham fan culture as it would be happening? Like you like putting a wee pie in the oven for half time? Have you got a bovril on the go?
See, the bovril is a very good shout. It doesn't get enough word out here in Down Under, but I probably would say it's more coffee based. Really, it's just to try and keep myself alive, to stay awake.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, how long has this love affair been going? You said since lockdown. Is that where it's just started? Because that's only a few years back, Adrian.
Yeah, so 6 years ago now, I think would have been 2020, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't watch games because, one, it was non-league, and there wasn't at the time a service for it. And then they got the National League TV involved, where I think that was actually pushed from our owners because they were struggling obviously to watch it from where they are as well. So it's been started since then, but I've made some incredible friendships over this. It's everyone talks about glitz and glam of Hollywood, but it really is about the town and Wrexham itself. And I made some lifelong friendships. I did a podcast with another guy from Perth who I'd never met. And then also all the people in Wrexham who came over for the Down Under tour last year, where Wrexham played Melbourne Victory, and I think they played Sydney FC as well. So, I got to meet all of the people who I'd talked to over Twitter and all of that jazz. So it's been a lot of fun.
And what did you make of the game last night as well? I mean, not the start to the season.
Just for a lot of the people coming in and out of the side.
Yeah.
Well, he's had to sign Phil Parkinson, established players at times. Josh Windass, he's had Kiefer Moore. He signed them, trying to lift the level of the club.
That's it. And I think that's what's been so beautiful about seeing it from National League to Championship now is seeing the people who've come through the door, because, it takes a community to really build that, but also, what Parky's been able to do and get on the blower to these people and be like, you know what, this isn't a fairy tale, this isn't for a documentary, this is for longevity here. You could be a part of something great. And bringing in people like Windass and Imre as well, obviously this season as well, and obviously Kiefer Moore being probably one of my favourite players who played for the club. I think we're really lucky, because if we didn't have someone in charge like Phil Parkinson, I don't know if we would have that kind of lure, or maybe we'd be gouged for money to get those kinds of players.
Okay. Are you going for promotion this season? Just missed out in the playoffs last season?
I'd love to just get playoffs, to be honest. I think if we can go up, amazing. But it's an incredible. Someone said this to me the other day. The Premier League one of the hardest leagues in the world, but the championship's got to be just a little bit harder because there's just a little bit more on the line, you know. So you want to go up, you want to be able to, what is it, parachute payments once you go up and down and all of that jazz. But really, it'd be a dream come true for all the people down at Wrexham as well as abroad. I know all the US fans who are on board and all the Australians as well here. You know, we'd love it, but really for the town of Wrexham, it would be the best thing.
Yeah. It's a real slog, that's for sure.
It's tough, isn't it? Tough. Adrian, we need to let you go. Have you been over, by the way? Have you been to Wrexham yet?
So not yet.
Okay.
The plans are summer, well, sort of to be the first rounds of next year.
Right.
I've just gotten engaged, so it's a bit hard to kind of sell that instead of a marriage.
Just book her for the honeymoon there. She will love it.
She's not a Swansea fan, is she?
No, she's actually from North London, so bit of banter there back and forth, but she's adopted Wrexham with me.
Brilliant. Adrian, thank you so much. Enjoy your day in Adelaide. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I like Adrian. Aussie Adrian there. That's the faraway end. This is our new feature. If you're listening now in Australia or the US, or I'm trying to think of other countries. I can't think of other countries. Where else?
There's hundreds of countries.
New Zealand, Singapore, wherever you are.
Yeah.
The faraway end is our new feature. So if you're a football fan listening far away from us, get in touch now. 81089 03717 223344. Sam's on the phones. We'll write down your number and we'll make sure we get you on across the season supporting your team. Out of 10, what are you giving Aussie Adrian as a rating?
Of what?
In terms of fan, like out of 10, what kind of fan?
He's pretty on his team, and he knows the transfers. He knows what's happened in the last few seasons.
Yeah, but
he ain't been to an home game yet,
so there you go.
He's got a reason.
What, you saying 5 out of 10?
No, I'll give him a 7.
Okay, we'll take that. Remember, talkSPORT is your home of the EFL. We'll bring you commentaries across the network each and every weekend, starting with Wolves Blackburn live talkSPORT Friday night. This is the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Volkswagen's 5+ promise is included when you purchase a selected vehicle. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Up next, this morning's Back Pages.
Michael deserves this job, and I do think they're going to be up there. I think they're going to push. I think they're going to be strong.
No, I do. I think I'm so happy to see Carra's just thriving. I think, obviously, having played with him, you know what kind of character he is. He's that composed and he's intelligent, and he's obviously bringing that into one of the biggest jobs in world football. And I think the run they obviously had at the end of last season, obviously in 2026, I think they were like number 1 in points taken. So for him to be able to have a full pre-season, bring in whoever he likes in terms of players and just have that belief, I think there's no one better kind of, steering that ship really. And no, I'm excited to see what the season brings for them.
I think it's going to be an interesting season, Chris, all round, because so many new managers. You don't know what to expect. Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs have spent big money as well. Whether they can try and get into that top 4. And obviously, the only one with a little bit of stability is probably Arsenal. But, it's always hard to retain that title, isn't it?
100%. I think everyone's going to be hungrier than ever, and it is hard to kind of maintain that. You're now the golden ones that everyone wants to compete and to fight against. So, I'm happy for United to be able to have that consistency from last season, because like you say, a lot of players are going to be coming, a lot of managerial changes. So I think United's got the perfect start at the minute, and hopefully hit the ground running.
DJ Jasper is bopping his head. Closet Spice Girl over there through the glass. I love it. Yeah, he said there's no closet involved. The closet is glass at this point. Jasper is a Spice Girls fan. Good morning, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Good morning to Dave. He says, is this a sports station or a music station? Come on, Shebahn. Dave, do me a favour, will you? Lighten up. Okay, time
Lighten up. It's a sunny day. It's 6:52 on a Saturday morning.
Dave, do me a favour. You don't have to clarify anything here, okay? It's fine just to hear about the Spice Girls. You call me boring as well. Now, we all know that's not true, Dave. All right, time now for this.
More music.
Big news, because I think Sophia's back next week.
She's back next week. She's finally back. It's been a year, and she's back on...
She's having the weekend off next week, then?
No, actually, would you believe it?
Wait, Sam's booked her a shift.
Oh, is it?
I've got to work twice as hard now.
Yeah.
She's back.
She's the AP, actually, next week. She's his assistant producer.
Yeah, she's done so well out there. She's unbelievable, really. It doesn't feel like that long, but it also feels like it's been an eternity.
It was a year, wasn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't feel like that long since we first spoke about her, but going away. But it feels like...
So she's had a gap year then, and you're married?
Well...
Sabbatical.
That's quite a good idea, isn't it? Well, good idea having a gap year. Well, we won't split up. We'll have a gap year.
Yeah.
I think we were still married, Cass, over that time. I'm not sure it was a gap year, if I'm honest.
I remember one day we were standing in the kitchen making a cup of tea, and Sam's like, Sophia might go to Australia. And then the next week he came in and Sophia's going to Australia then. Oh, that all happened a bit fast. But that's great. She's on the way home.
Yes. So we're very excited for that. And talking about going to different destinations, let's talk about what some of the England rejects. I don't mean to call them rejects in the sense that they're obviously fantastic players, but players who didn't get called up to the squad in the summer and what they are up to. Kit Shepherd's done an interesting piece in the Times today. Side hustles and Madonna, what England rejects did this summer. And it talks about what players did when they weren't called up. And I suppose this is an interesting point, Cass, because... You know, if you've got to find something to do over the summer to try and take your mind off the fact that you've not been called up to the England squad. And a lot of them have
gone on holiday for sure.
Well, that's for sure. I mean, it says here that Cole Palmer went to Ibiza, Phil Foden to Marbella, and Jared Bowen to Greece. Quite sort of standard choices there, aren't they? Really, Foden and Bowen went away with their young families, but they also did things like side hustles. It says here, Palmer launched his Cold premium ice brand that nodded to his nickname, and Shivering Celebration. It says
yeah.
Harry Maguire was in New York during the World Cup as a guest on the Rest is Football podcast. He continued to discuss his omission, criticising Tuchel's decision to deliver the news via FaceTime. And his straight-talking style suggests the media is a post-career pathway. And there was time for good deeds. Foden supported a tournament led by Rico Lewis that raised money for homelessness charities. Gibbs White played in a charity golf tournament. And Foden also had plenty of success fishing, as shown by pictures of him and his eldest son holding big catches. So it's good to see that they kept busy in the... I mean, footballers these days, they've got so many other projects on the go, haven't they? Plenty of opportunities to do something when they're not playing football, shall we say.
Well, there'll be a couple of them that are probably not too worried that they didn't go to the World Cup as well, because they probably felt they would have been sitting on the bench and not played any part and enjoying the break with their family. Look, it's a tough blow when it happens, but you get over it quickly when you're on their sort of money, didn't you? Just go,
yeah.
What's the downside? We're going away for a couple of weeks. And...
What I like about Foden as well, it feels like he's been on a bit of a PR tour this summer individually, because he was at Wimbledon, he was at Formula One, he was at, different sporting events going on away from the World Cup.
Yeah,
and I think that showed like good.
Well, it'd be painful. I'm not saying it wouldn't be for them.
It takes your mind off.
Yeah, just go and do things. Keep your mind occupied. Make sure you're right for next season. And you never know in football. You might be at the next World Cup. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not...
Listen, every player, Cass, as you well know, as you've done it, wants to play at a World Cup. But is there an argument to suggest that it can be beneficial not actually playing? And that's the reason I say that is because it says here, the social media posts, holidays and side hustles are all accompaniments to the player's main goal. Use World Cup rejection to their advantage. They should be less fatigued than those who did play in the tournament, and several are therefore well placed to navigate changes at their clubs. References Trent Alexander-Arnold, hoping missing the World Cup allows him to cement a starting place at Real Madrid after fitness problems. So it can be, it's almost a blessing in disguise in some way, can't it?
Yeah, I would say that some of the players, I would imagine, will come back and be flying, and they'll have that energy. You need a break from football at times, and then you take that with a holiday, and you're really excited to come back on the first day of new season.
Yeah.
Where if you've had the World Cup and you've then been away and then you're straight back from your holiday and you're going back into training, it might be a little bit lower. That's quite normal. But, I would totally get that players might think, great break to start next season.
Yeah, and so many have got, like, social media accounts and side hustles and stuff now, haven't they, Shebahn, as well?
Side hustles. yes. Lots going on. I mean, that's it. They keep themselves busy. They've got to. They can't sit and wallow and sit on social media slagging off the England team, can they?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And just quickly wanted to bring your attention to Crystal Palace. They've had an interesting summer, Cass, because they haven't really spent that much money. There's a lot of rumours at the moment that they might be doing a bit of business, but they signed yesterday Takahiro Tomiyasu following a successful trial from Arsenal. Spent 4 seasons at the Emirates before leaving in 2025, joining Ajax, not from Arsenal, but used to play for Arsenal. Becomes manager Pierre Sage's second signing since taking over. You're a bit worried about Palace. Obviously, they won a European trophy last year. It's going to be very difficult for them to kick on if they can't spend, isn't it?
Yeah, they've never been a spending club, have they? Never really gone after transfers and gone deep. And, there's some periods of time where I know fans have said they're sort of redundant in the transfer market. So it's a tough one. But look, they've done brilliantly well. Whatever we say, Palace, Glasner done an amazing job at the football club. Not only getting great results at times, playing a system that they were probably the best at in the country, playing that, whether you want to say 3 or 5 at the back. They all worked, and it worked well for them. And they lost, people like Mark Gay leave the football club. It's tough. They've lost Zaha, and so they can lose their big players as well. And Eze, they've lost some really big players over the last 2 or 3 years.
Are you worried for them this season?
I think it'll be a tough year. I just don't say worried. No, I don't think they'll go down.
We just need to see what this manager's all about as well.
Absolutely.
He's got big boots to fill with Glasner. Sam, thank you very much. Coming up for you here on the next hour on Weekend Sports Breakfast, we'll ask it whether any Spurs fans out there miss Christian Romero. Darren McAnthony thinks they'll be glad to see the back of him.
He's always a walking red card anyway. So, I think Spurs fans and Spurs owners and the managers would have seen enough of him.
Will you miss him? 81089 03717 223344, and we'll look back at whether Rodri picks Barca or Madrid.
They believe they've got the player buy-in, and Rodri prefers to move to Barca over Real Madrid.
It's all coming up for you on the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning.
Hussein, good morning.
Good morning, Shebahn. Akbar Lahore. You're making me boil right now. I can't stand you, mate.
Oh.
What have you won? What have you actually won, Gabby? You've not won nothing.
Yeah.
All you keep doing is just criticize Arsenal. What have you actually won?
Nothing, mate.
It's actually funny that I used to like you as a striker, but now I can't even. I don't know what I used to see in you, because you won absolutely nothing. And Arsenal are gonna win stuff.
You
They're gonna
used to
win.
like me, you said.
Yeah, I used to, but now.
What did you like about me though before?
Now he's your big gob. Sorry to say that. Keep criticizing Arsenal, but you just don't see how Arsenal are actually making. They're going places right now. We've just won the Premier League. You just even don't appreciate that we did that, because you just don't hate Arsenal. That's your issue.
I love Arsenal.
No, you don't.
I do. Thierry Henry is my favourite player. I've got his shirt that I wear at home.
Don't insult my intelligence, Gabby, please.
I love Arsenal, mate.
No, you don't.
I do.
Let me finish by saying this.
Okay.
Why will not what's his name, Vini, not come to Arsenal? Because we are actually building a team. Because we are building. Why should he stay in Real Madrid? Especially what
Real Madrid
happened between him and Jose. Never. You know what? I don't know if I'm gonna get anywhere with you, but I said what I wanted to say.
Shin pads are a footballer's best friend, even if players like Jack Grealish do wear such small ones you can barely even see them. But what's the story with shin pads, and are there any rules on how big they should be? It all started with cricket, actually. Cricketers had been wearing shin pads since the 1700s. They'd been introduced not for leg protection, but instead to give batters a strategic advantage. The idea was that batters could put their leg pads in front of the wicket if they missed the ball, preventing them from being bowled out. Obviously, that all changed when the LBW rule came in, but that was the theory behind them. It was thanks to this guy that shin protection made its way over to football. Meet Samuel Widdowson. He was a cricketer and a footballer. He played for Nottingham Forest back in the late 1800s, and he wanted a way to protect his legs from nasty tackles. Apparently, he'd broken his leg in a match against Sheffield United in 1874 and wanted to stop it from happening again. Naturally, his mind drifted to his other favourite sport, where players had been wearing these pads. Story goes, Widdowson cut up his cricket pads, sewed them into his socks and popped them on before taking to the footy pitch. Ta-da! Shin pads. Like all great genius inventors, everyone took the mickey at first. To be fair, he probably looked quite stupid running around with these on. But it's thought his whole Nottingham Forest team then began wearing them from 1887, and the first known use of them in a match was in 1894, in a match between Newcastle and the then Woolwich Arsenal. Eventually, FIFA clocked on that this protection was pretty important for footballers. Multiple studies have shown wearing shin pads clearly reduces the risk of players getting lower leg injuries. And so in 1990, basically 100 years after Widdowson first put them on, shin pads were made compulsory. It became a part of Law 4 of IFAB. That's the body responsible for setting the laws of the game internationally. But the law doesn't actually specify anything about measurements of shin pads. It just says pads must be made of a suitable material and be of an appropriate size to provide reasonable protection. It's really vague, and players can get away with a lot. A lot of grassroots clubs are choosing to ban micro shin pads for obvious reasons though, especially after a 15-year-old player from Penistone Church broke his leg while wearing them. Still no change from IFAB though. That's why Grealish and co can still get away with these ones, which are no bigger than a credit card and which seem to offer little to no protection whatsoever.
This is specifically for anyone who's complained about us playing the Spice Girls this morning.
Right.
And the more they complain, the more I'll keep getting Jasper to play the Spice Girls.
So how many we're going to have over the course of the morning?
We've got a number of hits. So don't at me.
6 number ones. Is it 6?
Good question, I don't know.
I've got a good feeling. I think it's 6 number ones.
It's 30 years ago. They were
I
in the
know.
charts. 30 years
Mad.
ago this month, they had 2 number months. The old Spice Girls. Good morning. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino. This morning we've been talking about the return of live football here on talkSPORT. We've got a number of games coming up for you here today. 3 o'clock, West Ham Portsmouth. Carabao Cup first round is on talkSPORT 2. 5:30, Colchester take on Southampton in the first round as well. And then, of course, tomorrow, Mansfield Sheffield United is on talkSPORT 2. And we've got a number of games coming up. Of course, we've got a full fixture list today in the Carabao Cup as well. Cass, live football is back.
Yeah.
We needed it.
It weren't away long, was it? It wasn't long.
I know, before you know
We
it,
had
you're
a
like,
few
oh,
weeks.
that's over in a flash. Before you know it, we're going to be in the piddling rain.
By the way, Sam, the producer, just said 9 number ones.
9?
Did they make it in America?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know with the Spice Girls.
They did. They did make it in America.
Right.
One of the few.
I was going to say, can be a real test for any band.
They did, because I'm pretty sure they had a movie that was partly based around being in America as well.
Right.
I'm glad you brought that up. More Spice Girl hits coming up for you today, sports fans. Okay? For you sporty Spice fans out there. So welcome back. Live football. You can let us know where you're headed today, what team you're following and what you're looking ahead to this season. Cass, less than 2 weeks away from the start of the Premier League season. So we're going to have a discussion about players we think need to step up and have a major impact at their club this season. And over to you guys on as well, by the way, on this, because you'll know your team better than us. 03717223344. What player in your team, whatever team it may be, needs to step up this season? Let's start on your Liverpool.
The obvious ones are obviously Isaac. I go even more so Florian Wirtz. I think you could put Kirkez in that bracket as well, being a left back. But I think for me, the outstanding one that's got to play better than last year, because I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to Isaac over injury and obviously breaking his foot or his ankle, Spurs away. But over the course of the season, Wirtz, they invested a hell of a lot of money in, and he's playing a very difficult position, whether it's the left side of the forward line, whether it's behind the forward. He's getting that floating role at times. I think he has to make things happen for Liverpool.
How does he do that? How does he make that impact now? And if you haven't seen quite the impact that you thought you were going to see, what clicks into place to make it happen?
He's a quick footballer, as in his feet. He does things, and I thought he was guilty last year of doing too many flicks. Flicks that sometimes you're just giving the ball away. The very best teams keep the ball. You can flick it, but when you're flicking it blind and it just the opposition pick it up, I thought he did that way too often. Liverpool lost possession, and once they lost possession, it's the reason why I said last year Liverpool will concede goals, because when they lost possession, they were in trouble. And they, some Liverpool like to play with Konate and Van Dijk, and their fullbacks pushed on slightly. It was an issue last year, because if you're losing the ball, even if it's high up the pitch, and then it's a cavalry charge to get back to defend, that is an issue.
I mean, the money that they spent on him as well, you mentioned that earlier on, it was a high fee from Bayer Leverkusen in 25 for 100 million. And Isak is the natural one that you turn to and go, he's got to have a good season.
Yeah.
But Wirtz isn't far behind it.
It said, look, we could go for all clubs. I could think of, I'm a big fan of Matoma at Brighton. He had an injury-plagued season. Missed the World Cup with an hamstring injury. You would have your own at Manchester United, wouldn't you? You'd pick a player and say, cool, he's got to be better this year.
Well, this is an interesting conversation when it comes to Manchester United, because we're in pre-season, obviously, and I was listening to Sky Sports News yesterday, and they were talking about how strong Mason Mount has been again in pre-season. And then you go, right, what does pre-season really mean? What can you take away from pre-season other than players trying to get fit? But you can't look at results and think that determines how your season's going to be.
Yeah.
You would never look at that for your team, and you disregard results in pre-season, because the minute the season starts, it all changes anyway. But he needs to have a strong season. I mean, you look at Luke Shaw, played every game last season, really got his fitness back on track, sorted out the injury issues, and he was brilliant. I mean, he brings that experience and the leadership. But Mason Mount, you always hear that he's the perfect pupil, he's the perfect student, and he's a very smart, intelligent player. And when he's on his game, he's brilliant. And you just hope this season it will come good.
Yeah, well, they paid, 55 million for him? He was injured at Chelsea before he got to Old Trafford, and he was a terrific player for Chelsea. He's one of them players that you can play him in that floating position, a bit like I talked about with Wirtz. He could get a goal as well, Mason Mount. You absolutely, Manchester United need a really fit Mason Mount, if not to just the start, but to challenge for other players' spots in the team, because he can take a goal. He's a good finisher, Mason Mount. Get him in positions of scoring, he can finish.
Yeah.
I totally agree. But being blighted by injury is a common theme with most of the players you're going to talk about, and what fans are listening to, and who they might think. You'll hear this a lot. I mean, I would imagine there will be very few that haven't been injured but have just gone missing during the course of the season, because normally in the Premier League you're probably not going to start if you lose your form, if he goes that poorly.
He spent 394 days at Manchester United on the sidelines.
Yes.
You think this season is it's now or
make or break for him. Of course,
make or break,
it
yeah.
has to be. Now, what is Mason now? 27, 28?
I think he's a wee bit older than that.
Is he? When did he come? 25, maybe 26. I would say.
Yeah, you're right. I thought he was older.
Yeah. So what is he? 27, 28?
27.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough to see Mason a lot of times at Chelsea, going there and watching him. And one thing, like I said earlier, can get a goal. Really can. Good finishing ability. So Manchester United, if they could have a Mason Mount, it's a very cliched sort of line of, it's like a new signing. That's exactly what it would be for Man United.
Could you add Cole Palmer, Chelsea fans, onto this list? I mean, are they looking and going, we need a big season from Cole?
Yeah, I thought they were poor all over the pitch at times. Not just there. I thought centre-half position, they were struggling. Cole Palmer didn't play as well as he did the year before. I would imagine he'll come back to his best. I would imagine that.
Why?
Because I think Chelsea I think Chelsea are a better team, and by the setup they've done this year and the experience they've brought in, I think Chelsea will be a better team this year.
Here's David in London. He says Palmer has to step up after last season. He's clearly not a one-season wonder, and of course had an injury, but he was very poor at times, and that cost him his place in England.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. But I did say, Shebahn, there's going to be a common theme of players being injured and losing their way slightly, not being at their peak, their physical best. But you ask that in any sport. Of players, male or female, who are not on top of their game. Raducanu in tennis.
Yeah.
Terrific, wins Wimbledon. She's been plagued by injury.
Since
one thing after
US
another.
Open one, yeah, it's just
can't
not
get fit,
happened.
and when they do, they get injured again somewhere along the line.
And that's the thing. Injury's a difficult one, but when you look at play, even say Lenny Yoro at Manchester United, you're going, no, you have to now really go for it. And Mason Mount's different because I suppose he has been blighted by injuries.
Well, do you remember Varane, Manchester United?
Yeah.
Okay, when he joined, I think he averaged about 22 games per season in La Liga over a 10-year period. He played about 220 odd games in 10 years. He averaged 22 games. Terrific player, absolute Rolls Royce of a defender. Couldn't get him on the pitch enough.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, tell us about your team, whatever that may be, taking it away from the Premier League to the club that you follow. Which player needs to really step up and make it work for the club this season? You can have your say. 03717 223344. If you want to give us a call on this, the phone lines are open. 81089 if you want to send a text message. But by the way, mention Man United, mention Liverpool there. People will go, is there not any other teams to speak about?
Well, tell us about your players you missed.
Go on then. We've asked you, over to you. But if you are sick...
I mentioned Brighton, to be fair.
You did mention them. Big team. If you're sick of hearing about the Big Six, there's a non-stop media drama and everything that goes along with them. Well, Max Scott and Ollie Klink are here with your new podcast. It's called No BS. No BS, no Big Six, and no, you know what it means. On this episode, the boys rant about how PSR and squad cost rules are actively harming clubs, break down Newcastle's summer exodus, and preview the season ahead for every other club.
I don't think there's ever been like a greater sense of frustration with the rules because we love the Premier League. I love the Premier League. I know you do. We're lucky enough to talk about it for a living. We pay our TV subscriptions. We go to games. We pay through the teeth for train tickets and away tickets, whatever it is. We love the Premier League. But I think there's this real sense from clubs outside the so-called top six that they're never going to break that ceiling. That really we're just sort of side characters in a bigger league or in something bigger. And what really frustrates me is this idea of a food chain. And I think you said it, when everyone's banging on about the Super League and how we all came together to destroy something that would destabilise the very fabric of domestic football in Europe, some of those same fans will say, know your place. Like, get back in the food chain, we'll have that player. Yeah. And then as soon as, and I say this as a Forest fan, Mr. Marinakis says to Spurs, absolutely not, Morgan Gibbs-White ain't coming, then they'll get the knickers in a twist.
I think we needed this podcast, didn't we? No BS, no Big Six. It's the brand new podcast here with Max Scott and Ollie Klink. It's available now. talkSPORT Daily Podcast. You can listen to it on our talkSPORT app as well. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Get complete peace of mind with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Coming up next, whack the kettle on, posh coffee time. We'll enjoy our weekly cappuccino with Cascarino next on the Weekend Sports Breakfast.
But the Vinny Jr. one was a audacious attempt, to say the least.
Big word for you.
I've been learning this book that I've been reading. I've got these big words in. I'm trying to keep them in my brain. No, but it was always going to be tough, Shebahn. Like Vinny Jr. leaving Real Madrid to come to Arsenal, it just doesn't sound right. As Arsenal fans might get angry, I'll say it, but like, imagine Neymar Jr. at Barcelona. He's not going to leave Barcelona for Arsenal. They're always going to come to an agreement. Real Madrid aren't going to let a talent like that at 26. Do you know what I mean? What's he worth on the market? I know he's got a year left, but what's he worth, Vinny Jr.? Over 100 million easily. Real Madrid are never going to let that go. And Vinny Jr. in his mind won't want to leave Real Madrid. Imagine the crowds in Brazil, the people that love Vinny Jr. because he plays for Real Madrid. I just can't see it.
Well, that is interesting because it was my understanding that it was if he wanted to leave Real Madrid. There's never been a he wants to leave Real Madrid.
He's not said it, has he?
He's looking for the right offer. He's looking at Mbappe going, can I get money close to that? Can I get a deal close to that?
Of course.
And if they're not going to give me what I deserve, then yes, I would be interested in what Mikel Arteta is doing. And don't get me wrong, Arsenal are a massive club and they are on the verge of winning the Champions League. They're looking to go back-to-back Premier League champions. They absolutely can, right? They can. So, and I think he would get them over the line, but he's Vinicius Jr.
This is a song. Pink Floyd. Yeah.
Well, that must bring back a few memories for you there. You've lit up like a candle, Tony Cascarino.
Yeah, I do love. I just early Pink Floyd was fantastic. Songs like Money, really, Comfortably Numb, unbelievable. Them and Us, brilliant song. That's off the album Dark Side of the Moon, which is one of the greatest albums without any doubt ever.
He didn't have this passion when it was the Spice Girls playing, that's for sure. Good morning, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. But why are we playing Time by Pink Floyd?
Well, that's off that album as well.
There's a survey going around in the papers today that we are spending an average of 4 hours a day texting, swiping,
4 hours?
Or watching content on our phone.
Oh, that's too long. Really? I can't, 4 hours? I'll never do that. I'll be lucky if you get me texting 30 minutes.
13 minutes max, you think you may be on your phone?
30. 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I'm a disgrace.
I'm looking at you because I'm going, come on then, how long? You're over 4 hours.
I'll check my screen time. and I'll come straight back to you. Yeah, I mean, it's getting worse and worse, isn't it? The doom scrolling. I'm so bad for it. I actually deleted Instagram last night. I was like, come off it for the weekend. Just looking at just going and going and going. I find myself in a dark hole and the kids are like, Mum. And then I think, what am I doing?
Mum, you're neglecting us.
Dinner. No. Neglecting us. Guys, come on. I'm watching a reel. In 4 hours. I mean, I'm going to look at my screen time now. Then I'll check Cass's because he doesn't even know what that is on his phone.
I do, but I don't. I watch it in the early hours of the morning. Sometimes I wake up and go on. That's my guilty pleasure, if you like.
Sounds a bit dodgy.
No.
What are you watching?
I like 5 o'clock in the morning, or in normal days where I'm up and doing stuff. I can get way more done, and it's quiet.
Yeah, I know. Up ahead.
I love that.
Up ahead of the buzz.
Yeah.
Okay, time now for a little bit of this.
A cappuccino with Cascarino on talkSPORT. Yummy.
What's our cappuccino about this week?
Well, it's about a superpower, which is luck, right? Whatever you have in life is make sure you can't make sure, but if you get lucky, just being lucky in life, okay? And I listened to Alan Brazil, who's had an extraordinary life. We all know and love Al, the way he is and the carry on. But what a piece of luck for him that he found a donor, a match for his liver transplant. You know, when I listened to him in midweek and he was literally saying there was weeks to go, you know.
Weeks
to
live.
Okay, and he survived. And thankfully he did. And he got very, very lucky in life. And there's, you know, the flip side of it is being unlucky as well. But I wanted to tell a quick story on luck, because when I thought about luck, and this is nothing, this is a good thing, it's a good story, but Teddy Sheringham, right? I always just say to him, you're the luckiest person on the planet. You're right, just like laughing, because he loved being a footballer. You know, he just loved it. He loved the lifestyle. He loved the enjoyment, the people he met along the way. He loved playing football. He had a lot of enthusiasm. I always thought that was one of the reasons why Ted done so well, is he had a real love for playing football, you know. And I'm going to give you the flip side of the story. Because when Ted first started, I'd watched Teddy and I ended up playing alongside him at Millwall. And he was loaned out. He went to Scandinavia. Brentford tried to buy him. They were haggling over $5,000. Brentford offered 5. Millwall wanted 10 grand when he was a young player. And he eventually got in the team and he made it work and he done brilliantly well. Obviously, he had 2, by the way, in his first few seasons at Millwall, he had 2 full seasons, Shebahn, of playing every game. Mm-hmm. Not getting injured at all. Ended up playing till he was 42. So it's what a story. Now the twist comes to it. His son Charlie, right? His son Charlie done the same thing. He went lower league. He was at football clubs as a young boy. Ended up going via non-league, and then gets an opportunity to go to Bournemouth, and they were in, I think, League One at the time. So Charlie joined. I can't remember what year, but he joined Bournemouth in League One, and Charlie. And by the way, Teddy's first goal, and saying luck, Teddy's first goal was against Bournemouth. You know, that scenario. He scored his first ever goal against Bournemouth. And Charlie ends up going to Bournemouth. And in his final game, I say his final game, it was his 6th match, he scored against Brentford, at Brentford, right? The club that Teddy could have joined. So you could say Sheringham, first goal against Bournemouth, and his son scores his first ever goal for Bournemouth, you know? Quite a weird scenario. And Charlie gets injured. He does his ankle and he's out for 18 months. He had an 18-month contract. Now, so Charlie was playing really well at that particular time as well. I mean, it's always difficult following your dad's footsteps, especially as someone the level of Teddy. But Charlie was forging his own career. Gets an injury, keeps him out for 18 months. And then his contract ends. And Bournemouth get promoted and they don't keep him. So, you know, that luck that his dad played till he was 41, 42, and his son's career is literally ended professionally in his early 20s. You know, and that's the luck side. Who knows? You never know. He ended up going back to non-league, re-establishing himself, but never quite got back to the level that he had at Bournemouth. And it just reminded me of being lucky in life. You know, one challenge at Brentford, he scores his first goal there, gets injured in a tackle, done and dusted. Brian Clough, done and dusted at 28 as a player with an injury. You know, that luck side of life. I mean, luck is in many different forms. You might say relationships. Your marriage or your children or whatever. There's so many things.
They're so lucky to have me.
I knew that was coming. But you know what? I've always said it's the greatest superpower.
I know.
If you get things that happen for and you get lucky, and I go back to Alan. Alan was very, very lucky, and he's the first to admit it. That what a chance, that saved his life.
That match was there that day, and it was perfect. For
I try to bring it back to the football side.
Yeah.
I got lucky, and you could say, I made my own luck. I went to Gillingham on a trial for one day. I arrived with a plastic bag and a pair of boots for a trial. Played against Steve Bruce. One thing happened in the game, and the manager called me in next day and said, "I saw one thing in your game, and that was a header that come. You out-jumped Brucey. Not many people do that, and you headed it, and the keeper made a save." He said, "That's the one thing you did. I'm going to give you a year's contract."
Brilliant.
I'll take my chance. I'll just give you a year's deal.
You got lucky.
That's a lucky moment.
Yeah, no, it's nice. It's actually a very nice story, and you're right.
Your luckiest thing? Or luck for you? Anything?
I think I've been incredibly lucky.
Exactly.
Sitting here at 7:28 in the morning, I think's luck as well. I do. I think I have been very, very lucky.
I'm lucky doing what I'm doing now. I've been in football in 44 years. I think, how lucky am I?
No, it's nice. It's a lovely story, actually. And you're right. I mean, Alan coming back, he's been very, very clear about his situation. And then there are people in football who seem unlucky. And there are people who just rode their luck and they've been so successful.
It just really is.
I
for
know,
some people.
and some people just get hampered with it.
I'll tell you, the amount of times, Shebahn, people have said to me, I was at a football club, doing really well, had a bad injury.
Yeah. Unlucky. Exactly. Okay, that was our weekly cappuccino with Cascarino. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Volkswagen's 5+ promises included when you purchase a selected vehicle. Terms and conditions and exclusions, as always, apply. Coming up next, we'll get through which players from your club has to step up this season. 03717 223344 and what we can expect this weekend in the Carabao Cup. Can West Ham get their season off to a winning start? Good morning. Your thoughts on Vinicius Junior then, Arsenal losing out in that. Were you hopeful or were you doubtful?
Do you know what? I was a little bit in the middle, really. I thought, look, he's a player that will certainly improve Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. He's got so much talent. But also, he's at Real Madrid, like Andy Townsend said. Why would you want to leave Real Madrid, as Andy says? But whether he wanted a different change of lifestyle and whatever, whether he wanted to go to London, I don't know. But I think what he's done, he's played the market, isn't he? So he's gone, right, we know Arsenal are interested. His agent's probably going to Real Madrid. Well, Arsenal, we're thinking about going to Arsenal, and they've panicked a little bit, probably got an unbelievable deal now, 6-year contract. And he's gone, right, okay, I'll stay then.
Yeah.
Done. And so he's played both sides, really, which a lot of agents do, a lot of players do as well. But I was always 50-50, really. If he comes to the club, great. But if he doesn't, it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely, you move on from it. I mean, it's absolutely dead now. He is staying at Real Madrid for 6 years, as you mentioned. But, how important was that to get that idea that Arsenal were starting to flirt with world-class players, with somebody who would be a marquee signing?
You've got to do that. You've got to do that.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, you've got to do that.
They've done it. The champions got a final. Why wouldn't you?
And the club's in a really good position at the moment with finances and whatever. I mean, Josh Kroenke's really stepped it up another level really now and he trusts the manager Arteta to say, right, we're going to really go with him and see what he needs.
Good morning, how's it going? The sun is shining on the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. You can watch us on Samsung TV Plus. You can watch us on the YouTube channel as well. Tony Cascarino looking like a 10 out of 10 this morning. Some of your headlines: new Wolverhampton Wanderers boss Cesar Peixoto claimed a first victory in his first game in charge as the relegated Championship side comfortably saw off League Two Port Vale to reach the Carabao Cup second round. And Will Lankshire's spectacular second half strike proved enough for Middlesbrough to beat Championship rivals Wrexham to make it through as well. It was live here on the talkSPORT network last night, and Man City have rejected an opening offer of $38.5 million from Barcelona for midfielder Rodri. City are open to selling the Spaniard, but it would demand more than $60 million. Here's talkSPORT senior football correspondent Ben Jacobs with the latest on that.
And now Barcelona have entered the race and they believe they've got the player buy-in, and Rodri prefers to move to Barca over Real Madrid. Still need to wait for a bid. Manchester City will be looking at other deals in the market, even outside of Rodri's position. If you think Rodri, best player at the World Cup, Ballon d'Or winner, despite his age, I would imagine City will take Jan-Paul van Hecke, a defender who only had 1 year left on his deal, Brighton to Spurs, 52 million, and say Rodri surely has to be more than that. So some of this will come down to finances, but our understanding is Rodri is leaning towards Barcelona over Real Madrid.
Barcelona through family reasons. It means a lot to him to be closer to this family and that side as well. More on that coming up here on talkSPORT across the day. We asked which player at your club needs to step up this season. Cass, a few good messages on this. 81089, or you can call us 03717 223344. Tony Cascarino thinks Wirtz at Liverpool has to have a good season. Hi to David, he says Palmer has to step up after last season. If Alonso can, somebody with no name, McBurney needs to again and will turn up for Hull this season. Hi to Liam, he says I feel Phil Foden needs to step up this season now that Rodri could be going, Silva has gone. He needs to get that midfield into shape, and I feel like this is the time for Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah, another good player. The one's interesting about Foden, because obviously Pep leaving, and then Phil Foden straight away signs a new 4-year deal. You know, so obviously Maresca's got a lot of trust in Phil Foden.
Yeah, as do the club. They must have a lot of faith in him. That's from Liam, the Man City fan. Every Newcastle player needs to turn up this season, pending we have any left. Stop playing Spice Girls. I really don't want to hear them. He knew what he was doing. He wants to hear the Spice Girls. That's from Jack this morning. 81089, or give us a call. Which player at your team has to step up? 03717 223344. The phone lines are open. And it's a big weekend in the Carabao Cup.
Have a good start, did he, to his Bristol City tenure, losing to Walsall on Thursday night. That was the first upset. You've mentioned the games last night. Will Lancashire starting his Borough career with a spectacular goal. He might be a player to step up, which you were talking about there. A comfortable win for Wolves. And Stevenage with a last-ditch victory at Wickham seemed to be destined for penalties, but they got a goal through Josh McGuinness. So already had some good games. The other All-Championship game is a good one as well. Swansea and Birmingham, who beat Barcelona in pre-season, the Blues. So that'll be an intriguing one. And also you're looking at potential upsets as well, aren't you? How about Notts County going to Burnley? Absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Burton home to Blackburn, Gary Bowye's old club, and Tony Mowbray in his second spell with Rovers.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking also, Gillingham take on Luton, which is a really good tie.
Come on, a tan.
Jack Wiltshire going down to my first club, Gillingham, so taking his team there. That's an interesting one. Tell us about, I looked last night, some of the attendances were pretty decent, because I wasn't quite sure how it would be received, being, this format of the opening game of the season.
I think actually it works well, because often the Carabao Cup seems to take second fiddle in a midweek after the season started. But obviously, they've been a while without a game. You've got new players integrating. Berhalter and Lancashire combined for a goal for Borough, for instance. And, they want to be in that starting lineup for the first league game. So I don't think you've necessarily got a situation where you rest players. And, as we've mentioned, they've missed their football, haven't they? Going week in, week out. So that's why I think this works pretty well. And it will go on to flourish. Look at some of the other ties down the list here, actually, guys. There are some crackers, aren't there? Colchester home to Southampton. The beleaguered Saints could be in for a test in Essex, couldn't they? And Rotherham West Brom. What's going through Alex Bruce's mind this morning? With the Millers, who are now a League Two club. Rotherham West Brom were in the same division not so long ago. And Alex, of course, was on the coaching staff with his dad, Steve, at the Baggies. So that'll be a big one at the New York.
Oh, very interesting. And also last night in the game, Middlesbrough beat Wrexham 1-0. We saw the new implemented rules of time wasting come into play. Yeah. Of course, that substitution. Tell us about that. And do you think we're going to see more of that today?
I think possibly, yeah. You've got the new rules. They're trying to make it flow rather like they did in the World Cup with the player going off. There were situations. It's gonna create debate, a little bit of controversy, but we don't mind that. Anything that can get the game going smoothly. There are going to be teething problems as we've had with VAR. I've got a bit of trivia for you, by the way. I don't know whether you'll know the answer to this, but do you know who the last club was who won this competition? Who was outside the top flight in the League Cup? Any idea?
I don't think. Did Portsmouth win it?
Sheffield Wednesday in 1991. Can you believe? When the Premier League didn't even exist. I can still hear John Sheridan's shot going off the inside of the post and over the line.
I played with John Sheridan. I was with him in the Republic of Ireland. Yeah, John. Yeah. He's famous for the only played one game for Nottingham Forest, wasn't he?
Oh wow.
Oh, right.
So Brian Clough signed him for 650,000. John Sheridan from Sheffield Wednesday to Forest plays one game, and John Sheridan said when he first met Cloughy said to him in a meeting, "I don't really like you."
Oh dear.
And I would have said that John Sheridan was the perfect player for Brian Clough.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic one and two touch player.
Wow.
And yet, really clever player, John, a League Cup legend. So there'll be stories to be told. Well, they've already had the preliminary round. We had one of the worst penalty shootouts you'll see, I think, with Tranmere. I think missed 4 penalties in a row against Rochdale. Actually, Rochdale go to Bradford, and they, of course, had that amazing run to the final, didn't they? In 2013, I was at Villa Park for the semi when James Hansen scored. So wouldn't it be great if a 4th-tier club could?
You're right. I mean, since 1991. A club outside the top flight, then that's incredible. Jack, as ever, have a great day, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Cheers, Jack.
And you. Cheers. Have a good one.
Our EFL expert there, Jack Woodward. Yes, live football is back, as is Adrian Durham, our voice of live football. He is back, Game Day Live, 1 o'clock today with Mickey Gray and Ben Mee here on talkSPORT, going all around the grounds, all of the action.
Ben Mee, he's only just finished, isn't he, Ben Mee?
I know.
Because he's at Sheffield, wasn't
he? Well, he's been working with us for about a year now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Or have I added some time? Yes.
No, as long as that, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only just relatively finished, hasn't he?
I know.
Yeah.
Good to have it all back today. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Keep your business moving with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Live football also 3 o'clock. West Ham Portsmouth in the Carabao Cup first round is over on talkSPORT 2. Swipe across on the talkSPORT app. Following that, 5:30, Colchester Southampton also live for you on talkSPORT 2. Coming up next, we're going to talk about Spurs. The centre halves were split a few times last season, and it looks like that's going to happen again. We'll explain more to you next. Good morning. No smoke without fire. Of course not. He is interested in the Arsenal project.
Arsenal going
if he's to leave Real Madrid.
Arsenal going for Vinny Jr. is like me sending Rihanna a message on Instagram saying that I'd love you to come to the Bullring in Birmingham. I want to take you around Birmingham on a date. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, he's not leaving Real Madrid to come to Arsenal, one league title in over 20 years, can't win a Champions League in their whole existence. He's not going to come to Arsenal. He's used Arsenal to get an extra 5, 6, 7, 8 million pound a year, and he's going to sign a new contract at Arsenal. Sign a new contract at Real Madrid. Simple. What he's doing. Arsenal have been used.
Did you ever shoot your shot with Rihanna though? Did you ever DM?
I might have. Yeah, I might have. That's private business. I might have.
But the point is, we know that Arsenal have made a go at Vinicius Junior, so they've tried.
And maybe I tried, and it didn't work out.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out for Arsenal, is it?
You make me cringe.
No, one league title in over 20 years. Never won the Champions League. Can't sit at the big table of the Champions League winning clubs like Villa, Nottingham Forest, Celtic. And you think you're going to go and sign Vinny Jr., the fan base that Vinny Jr.'s got in South America because he plays for Real Madrid.
It's not.
Rodri's doing everything he can probably to get out of Manchester City to go to Real Madrid. Haaland will go to Real Madrid at some point in his career.
It's not dead yet. Good morning, Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. Live football is back. Later on in the show, we'll speak to former FA chairman David Bernstein to discuss this ongoing FIFA boycott by UEFA and whether Gianni Infantino can continue his presidency in the current climate. I mean, there's some news on Gianni Infantino coming out, isn't there? Here's Johnny. More on that coming up today. Stay tuned for some of your headlines as well. Crystal Palace have completed the signing of Japan defender Tomiyasu following a successful trial. Freddie Flintoff has stepped down as head coach of the England Lions. He began the role in September 2024, meaning he leaves just under 2 years in. And there's loads going on over on our website at talksport.com. To catch up on the latest, here's our Sean O'Brien.
Lots happening over on talksport.com, where we've taken a look at who Arsenal could sign instead of Vinicius Jr. Our transfer expert Ben Jacobs reveals the 3 new options for the Gunners, including dream target Julian Alvarez. Elsewhere, we've also taken a look at every Championship team ahead of the new season and predicted where they'll finish, and we've built a Chelsea 11 out of players who could still leave this summer, asking whether it could qualify for Europe on its own. That's all over on talksport.com.
Sean, thank you very much. Who could Arsenal sign other than Vinny? Obviously, now that that's not happening.
Matoma.
Why do you suggest?
I'll tell you what, if he was a tad younger and hadn't had so many injuries, I'd really look him. I thought Matoma, when he's been Brighton's best player, he's scarily good. Great You know, he had a poor season last year and a number of injuries. I think he scored 3 goals in the league for Brighton last year, but he's a dangerous winger. He wants to take people on all the time. And look, Arsenal have got cover there, so yeah.
Some Arsenal fans had mentioned Rashford as well. You wonder if there's an opportunity there for him, but I think today he's linked to AC Milan, isn't he?
Tough one.
With Ruben Amorim.
I tell you what, it's such a hard call on Marcus Rashford because there's a part of you thinks absolutely he could go and he's at his very best, he can really hurt teams. But everyone's the same thing. They're not sure.
Yeah.
Nearly everybody I spoke to about Marcus Rashford is not sure whether he could go and do it for a club, whether he could do it and stay at Manchester United. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a coin flip. But I think Man United are in the perfect position to go, we'll have a look. You know, Michael Carrick, manager under him now, new one. I don't know. It's a real tough one.
We've been talking about players from your club who has to step up this season. Just watching Conor Gallagher there on the telly as well. You know, you would think, needs a good season ahead. Let's talk about Spurs now, because Captain Christian Romero's future has been the source of much speculation. Some suggesting he might be off to Arsenal. I mean, it's doing the rounds online. There was a bit of a chat about it yesterday, but I'm not sure about that. It now seems he may join countryman Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. Some pundits are backing Spurs to be competitive in the league this season, including Peterborough chairman Dara McAnthony, who joined talkSPORT yesterday. He's very impressed with Roberto De Zerbi's style.
But I like this guy. But like I said, he needs to... I think he sees Spurs as a project, something special he can build and back up his reputation. You know, because his reputation goes before him that he's all of these great things, but he hasn't delivered enough on the
Pep Guardiola said he's one of the most influential managers in the last 20 years.
Absolutely. I've spoken to people close to him. I've heard stories about how he does his analysis and how he sits and he goes through it with his coaches, with his players. I had an analyst who worked for me, who worked with him, said the guy works he's like Dracula. He's like day and night. He's there all day.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love anyone with that kind of work ethic. So I think what he's done is he's taken that job. They've paid him big bucks. A bit like Glasner going to Forest.
Yeah.
When you get a manager like that, of that ilk, you have to back them.
He's there to turn the lights on and lock up the doors at the end of the day. Roberto De Zerbi, as McAnthony mentioned there, Dara said, you can't seem to come across anyone who's worked with him who's said a bad word about him. His detail is exceptional. They're recruiting well this season. You wonder if Spurs fans are feeling optimistic about the season ahead. We can speak to one of our own, host of Inside Spurs, Sonny Snellen. Good morning, Sonny.
Hi,
Good morning,
Sonny.
guys. How we doing?
Yeah, we're good. I'm more interested in your views because Romero, again, who was your captain, given his captain's armband last season by Thomas Frank. I want to sit here what you say. Come on, Sonny, tell us what you think.
Oh, I'm not going to hold back here. I absolutely think he is one of the biggest disgraces to play for Tottenham Hotspur. He's not our worst captain because there's another guy who takes that mantle, but I'm not going to mention his name for obvious reasons. But with Romero, it all started for me the season before last, where we went to Wolves, we lost 4-2, he stormed down the tunnel, he didn't say anything to the fans, go and clap him or anything. Then he got given the captain's armband by Thomas Frank, and I thought maybe he needs this to set an example. Maybe this is what he's been wanting for many years. But during a season where a lot of players let us down, he put his head above the parapet and went the extra mile. He is meant to be a captain who is meant to pull these players out the trenches and lead by example. And he could have cost us. When he got sent off against Manchester United and missed the end of the season, he really could have cost us. But luckily, De Zerbi really got into the players. He's convinced Mickey van der Ven to stay and given him a new contract. We've now made some transfer business. So I'm happy to see the back of him. I've had an absolute enough of what he's been running his mouth about. Even like when he called out the club, a lot of people agree with him, but he did it during the worst point of the season. And go to Simeone. That's a match made in heaven.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting about Romero as well. 6 red cards for his time at Spurs. None for Argentina. And I think it was Majestic said yesterday on talkSPORT, he maybe is the player who needs to be led. He is not the leader. And I think that's a fair point, because when you look inside that Spurs dressing room, it's a bit of a basket case, isn't it? Sonny, who's going to be the leader this season for Spurs?
This is what's really interesting. There's been some rumours that James Maddison could be the next captain, and he has shown good leadership skills in the sense of he's really good with the youth players. He is a bit Mr. Tottenham. The only problem with him is he hasn't obviously played a lot of minutes after doing his ACL last year, and he's even picked up a little injury, which might set him back a couple of weeks as well ahead of the Brentford game. A lot of people also saying Mickey van der Ven, he did take the captain's armband at stages last year, But then even people are throwing Andy Robertson's name into the mix because he's just come and he has got that leadership qualities. The guy who's played the most minutes in our pre-season this year has been Archie Gray, and he's had the captain's armband. And De Zerbi was even quizzed on it. Why have you given him the captain's armband? And all De Zerbi said was, well, I'm the manager. So there's so many different options, different ages and different profiles. So
it's
I
a
don't
good
know,
answer.
honestly.
I saw, Sonny, I saw Mickey van der Ven captain at Fulham away. And I was watching him because I'd done a piece on him. And as much as he can be good with his performance and his ability to recover and his defending, even though he'd had an indifferent season himself, I didn't see him speaking too much. It didn't seem to be vocal on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Mickey van der Ven's had a funny time at Spurs because there is a good player there. I mean, a lot of what he's come out and said, like during the start of last season when, you know, he was obviously in that infamous bickering match with Thomas Frank, and Jed Spence was playing along with that as well. But since then, he's come out and said a lot of quotes where he's backed De Zerbi. He really has like applauded his style of football, and in hindsight, started slagging off Thomas Frank as well, which is really funny. So I feel like, and I think what we forget about Mickey van der Ven, he's still quite young. I think he's only like 23, 24. So maybe again, he's one that we say if he got the armband, he might actually and become the club captain. It might take him to the next level. But again, we said that about Christian Romero, so we will see.
You also look at the likes of Dejan Kulusevski as well. If he can get back to fitness, he strikes me as a leading character. What was I going to ask you? Oh, yeah, do you think you still need a striker in order to kind of get top six?
This is the thing with Spurs. So our transfer business has been sublime. 6 players in so far, all Premier League experience. We've seen the news around Savinho. That's been dragging on for a year. Like we were literally linked to him this time last year and it fell through, but that's gone all a bit quiet. The Cody Gakpo news, that has sort of been bubbling away. But late last night, many Spurs fans might have missed this. We got linked to a striker that's not from the Premier League, which is really interesting. He's Villarreal's George Mikatadze. He's a Georgian international. I've been watching some of his highlight reels and he does look like a really good versatile forward. Scored 13 goals in the Liga last year. This is the first non-Premier League name that we've sort of been put out in the ether because we've been linked to Marcus Rashford, another player. I definitely think we need, personally for me, we need an out-and-out striker because we've got a few wingers at the club. Mikey Moore obviously had a good season at Rangers. He might go out on loan again. We've had Matisse Tell, who's still there. Wilson Odobert to come back from injury. Mohamed Kudus on the other side. So we've got a lot of wingers. To me, I don't want to put all my eggs in the Richarlison and the Solanke basket because they get injured and they're inconsistent. And also, seeing Will Lancashire score last night on Inside Spurs, I said he should have been kept and been our backup striker, get rid of Solanke and Richarlison and bring in a world-class striker. Can this Villarreal guy be that person? Potentially. I mean, he's a clinical finisher. He's versatile, good with the ball at his feet, and you know he plays with Kvaratskhelia. So if he's anything like him, he would be quite good. But I mean, I'd say to Cass, like you know, obviously you being a striker yourself, what do you think Spurs need? Do they need someone that they can grow, or someone who's got to come in world class and you know hit the ground running?
I always think just buy players that are what you need necessarily technically and ability, but buy players that who want to come to Spurs. That's your first objective for me.
We love that club, Sonny, thank you very much. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
All the best. Inside Spurs presenter Sonny Snelling. Don't forget Spurs kick off their season at Brentford at 5:30 on Saturday the 22nd of August. Tough start for them. It's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. We'll take your calls on players who you think need to step up for your club next season. 03717 223344. And on the way, we're going to be speaking to legendary commentator Ian Darke to look ahead to the new season. Good morning.
Barcelona are now leading the race to sign Rodri from Manchester City, notwithstanding the loss that would be to City in a new era under Enzo Maresca. What's the latest on that? And is it the case that Real Madrid have dropped the ball here? Because it seemed to be, reading reports, that Real Madrid were in the driving seat with this one.
Yeah, Rodri wanted Real Madrid earlier in the window, and Florentino Perez hadn't decided what kind of midfielder he was going for, which is why several names were linked, including Enzo Fernandez, and Real had to issue a statement saying we've had no contact with Enzo Fernandez. Jose Mourinho came in. Finally, they got the mandate from Perez to start negotiating financially, but Barca have basically hijacked this, although some sources say Barca were there even before the window opened, and it was Real that kind of steamrolled in. And ultimately, Rodri, for family reasons, wants to go to Spain, but we've got a fascinating scenario now. Man City want to keep. Pep Guardiola never used to stand in players' ways, especially senior ones that had been long-serving and loyal to the club. But Enzo Maresca's new, and of course, if it's his say, he'll go to his board and say, keep him. If he doesn't renew, we'll let him leave on a free transfer in 2027. And now Barca are going to accelerate and bid, and they have full player buy-in. So Rodri wants Barcelona over Real Madrid, and I think there's a strong chance that this one happens. Man City are going to add another midfielder. Ayoub Boadi advanced talks. They've got other targets as well. Elliot Anderson has already come in. And in essence, it's whether City say Rodri deserves this move and follow that Pep Guardiola approach, or if they double down and say Enzo Maresca doesn't want him to leave, so we're going to make it really difficult.
Tyson Fury, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. Just hearing these names makes you think money and the hundreds of millions of dollars, pounds or Saudi riyals in boxing. But that's at the top. At the bottom, it isn't quite the same. Even for those on the rise, there's not an awful lot of cash in the boxing world. And if you're just starting out, well, it can be a very costly exercise indeed. But don't take my word for it. Here's the former European champion, talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver.
You're turning professional and you're boxing, let's say, York Hall on a non-televised fight. You have to sell tickets to earn any money, but you have to cover the wages of your opponent as well. So if you don't have the ability to be able to sell enough tickets, you effectively have to pay to fight.
A far cry then from Jake Paul facing Mike Tyson in 2024, when the purse was reported to be around £48 million. But the vast amounts of cash lining the top dog's pockets isn't the norm in a typical fight.
Let's say you're lucky and you get between 5 and 10 grand. You're going to get 10 grand max for that. 10% goes to the trainer, 25% goes to the manager. Then we've got the tax man to pay as well. So we're cutting that money in at least half. So now you've got 5 grand for a 10-week camp. So you're talking about a guy here earning, he might be clearing 500 quid a week. How do you support a family on that? So boxers chase the dream. And, you know, there's probably 2% of them that actually make it.
So say you do make it and you start to rise up the ranks. Strikers Boxing, a training academy, says the mid-tier fighters can earn more, somewhere between £10,000 and £50,000 a fight, depending on record, profile, opponent and popularity of weight class. It's only at the top level does the real cash start flowing in, with the top-tier professionals, i.e. those going for titles, earning 6 figures a fight. Something else you'll have heard of is the terms prize fighter or journeyman. A prize fighter is, as it sounds, someone who picks up fights where they can and gets a nice big check if they win. Journeymen are the fighters who take on up-and-comers, effectively used for experience in the ring. Even if they're going up against a real prospect, a young Anthony Joshua, for example, these guys will be lucky to earn more than 10 grand. So the average boxer isn't as rich as you'd think.
Good morning, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Marseille striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
South Americans are in the headlines this morning. Bruno Guimaraes closes in on a move to Arsenal and Vinicius Jr. commits to Real Madrid. Could Christian Romero be heading to Atletico Madrid? Darren Ambrose will not be sorry to see him go.
Let them have him.
Really?
Yeah, let them have him.
He can't go to Arsenal.
Liability. Give Vicky van der Ven the captaincy. If they want him, they've got to pay big money to get him.
They don't want him.
And then we'll be laughing at them when they lose him every couple of games from a red card.
Can Roberto De Zerbi's side ruffle some top six feathers this season? We'll discuss Spurs on the show. Gianni Infantino is clinging on at the top of FIFA despite UEFA maintaining the World Cup boycott. Norway have called for the FIFA president to resign after his attempt to sell off the stakes in the World Cup to private investors.
This is a very, very bitter and public defeat for him and has caused immense ructions within FIFA and the football community.
That was the Times' Martin Ziegler there. Former FA chairman David Bernstein will join us later on in the show to discuss in more detail. And after 3 games last night, there's lots more Carabao Cup action today, including West Ham against Portsmouth at the London Stadium. It's live on talkSPORT 2. Nuno Espirito Santo is looking forward to their first competitive game of the season in front of the West Ham faithful.
Tomorrow we can again beat the record in attendance for the first game of the Carabao Cup. Portsmouth also is going to bring a lot of fans, so we are delighted with our fans, and it's up to us to give back them.
We'll be joined by legendary commentator Ian Darke to preview that game and the new season ahead. You can get in touch with the show this morning. Which player at your club has to step up this season? The number is 03717 223344. Are you back out and off to the footy today with a spring in your step? The sun is shining. Come and get involved. 810 89. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. Oh, Cass, we're talking about screen time on your phone.
Yeah.
Guess mine.
So in one day?
Yeah, my average screen time.
Your average in one day. I'm going more than 4 hours. I'm going 5.5.
That's so close. 5:28.
Well, I've seen you enough on it.
Oh, shut up. You judgy little Judy. He stands up and leaves every weekend and forgets his phone. I'm like, Cass, your phone, you're going to need this a little bit later. By the way,
I only normally suffer from amnesia when I owe people money.
Well, you got the coffees in this morning, thank you, sir. Can we just give a shout out to Charlie Hull, by the way, the golfer, playing at Centurion Club. She broke the course record yesterday with 62.
Yeah, I saw that. By the way, she played really well in the Open.
She did.
And she couldn't hold a putt.
I know.
Couldn't hold a putt.
Course record of 62.
Yeah, good.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Just a week too late, she's probably thinking.
I know. But in front of our home crowd, I think our nephews were there with her off the tee.
Yeah.
I'm good
still lovely for her. Yeah, of course. But, Royal Birkdale, you want to play your best golf, don't you?
Yeah.
For the major.
And Centurion's a tough course. Yeah. Very tough course.
Played it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going today. I'm going to the event today. Do you know, she shot a course record and I had the record worst at Centurion as well. So congratulations to you, Charlie. We've been asking you which player at your club has to step up this season. Cass is saying Wirtz has to step up for Liverpool. There's a lot of focus on Mason Mount from Man United fans, as is Lenny Yoro. 03717 223344. We've got Jeff, the Newcastle fan, with us now. Jeff, good morning. I mean, it's been a tough old transfer window once again, but who needs to step up for Newcastle?
Morning, Shebahn. Well, I mean, you could pick any of them, to be honest, but on the basis I had to Google most of our new signings, I've gone for one that I was really excited for 12 months ago, which is Anthony Elanga.
Oh, right, yeah, good shout, Jeff, good shout.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be the pacey guy, creating chances, whipping crosses in, and then last year he had 1 assist in 32 games, which is just dreadful. And on the basis he's pretty much the last midfielder standing, he can't get a hell of a lot worse. We've got to see a lot more of him.
Good call.
That's a great call, because Anthony Elanga is one of the quickest players in the Premier League, and you need a lot more from him. I'm trying to guess the player before Jeff came on. I was thinking, I wonder if he's going to say Valdemada. as a player that he thinks needs to just step up. But he done okay. He done a lot better at the early stages of last season.
Salanga's going under the radar ever so slightly.
Yeah, he hasn't. But Jeff's got spot on.
Spot on, Jeff. Keep these coming in. 03717223344. So let's talk about the Premier League now. It returns next couple of weekends from now. Rodri seemingly on the move. Mo Salah's gone. You wonder if the Premier League is starting to lose some of its star power. A few days ago, it was announced that Brazilian winger Vinicius Jr. had agreed a new 6-year deal with Real Madrid. It keeps him at the Bernabeu till 2032. The 26-year-old has entered the final 12 months of his contract and attracted interest, of course, from Arsenal in recent weeks, which begs the question, were the links to Arsenal even true, or are the big clubs losing their ability to attract the world's best? Do you think why would that be? I mean, I can understand why Vinicius Jr. would stay at Real Madrid, but
I would phrase it slightly different, Shebahn, as in the ability to sign the best players in the world at their prime age. So that's 26. That's the difficult one. Now, there are a few examples of players that have come who have been tremendous players in world football. The obvious one is Dennis Bergkamp. He joined Arsenal 26 from Inter. Pogba come back from Juventus. And you'd like to have thought, it didn't pan out that way for him, but absolutely was a big signing at the time. I think the last one you can probably go to is Haaland.
Yeah.
That was a massive signing for Man City to get Haaland through the door. Really, really, as gifted as goal scorers you're going to see, but it's hard to get them in their prime. You can get them. You can get the likes of Ibrahimovic or someone like that, or, you look, Casemiro, that type of player who have been great players. You can get them. Varane, we talked earlier. Yeah. Varane, getting him from Real Madrid, but he wasn't the Varane that first arrived at.
So what's the Premier League missing then, if they don't want to come in the prime?
Well,
because arguably it's the best league.
Well, it is the best league, and it obviously pays really super high wages. But there is an issue also with South American players, because they generally will want to go to Spain. Prefer Spain because of the language, Portuguese, Spanish, and obviously South American players. If they can go to Real Madrid or Barcelona, it's going to be easier for them to want to go there. So I think that's an obstacle for Premier League teams. And Barca and Real have always been the giants of European football. Yeah. They just are.
That's simply it.
We have a bias in the Premier League. But if you're looking across the board, Real Madrid have won the most European Cup Champions Leagues than anybody.
Do you get a sense that the Premier League is a draw for players?
Oh, of course it is, yeah. With the finance, honestly, Shebahn, I had so many conversations when I was in France of players that said, I'd love to go and play in England. But they weren't that level. Mm-hmm. Again, Arsene Wenger brought in Anelka and he brought in Henry and Vieira. But he knew them. So they weren't well-established stars at that time. Zidane chose never to come to the Premier League, didn't want to come to the Premier League. I can remember reading a piece about him in France. He had no, intentions of going to the Premier League. Mm-hmm. He went to Italy with Juve, and then he went to Real Madrid. Yeah. So it's really, really hard because there's some players who just don't want to come for whatever reason, whether we might think, it's a bit more physical. I'm not so sure about that one. I think players just prefer, and if they have opportunity, if Real Madrid or Barcelona are on the table, it's nine times out of 10 they're going there.
It would have been incredible, wouldn't it, for Vinicius Jr. to be in the Premier League, and a huge coup for Arsenal if that were to happen. But he sticks with Real Madrid, and you don't judge him for that whatsoever.
Well, we've seen great players come, but it's been at the, Shevchenko come to Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's an amazing player, but he wasn't the Shevchenko of the AC Milan at his very best. He wasn't that. He was nowhere near that player by then.
Yeah, Mesut was all going to Arsenal.
I'd say Zola, but Zola was not one of the greatest players on the planet when he left to come to Chelsea. Mm-hmm. After what we saw, Zola was an amazing player.
Yeah.
But Baggio, at his very best, would he have left Italy? No.
Premier League returns in a couple of weeks' time here on the talkSPORT network. Live football is back for you now. Yes, it's the first round of the Carabao Cup. GameDay live with Adrian Durham here at 1 o'clock, going all around the grounds, and then live football on talkSPORT 2, West Ham Portsmouth at 3, and 5:30 Colchester take on Southampton. It's the weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Get complete peace of mind with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Coming up next, next. We'll get the latest odds for the football coming up today, and later this hour, ESPN commentator Ian Darke will discuss his beloved Portsmouth and look ahead to the new Premier League season. Good morning to you.
I anticipate Arsenal to absolutely go again and just be as good as they've been this season. The key element for me on the title this year is Rodri. If Rodri's a Manchester City player throughout the whole course of the season, Manchester City will win the league.
That's a shouting off, that isn't it?
Do you disagree? If Manchester City lose Rodri and he goes to Real Madrid, they will not win the league.
I know what you're saying, but I look at it as well from because Anderson's coming, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
He's not Rodri.
I know he's not Rodri.
But he'll benefit from playing alongside him.
Yeah, that would happen.
But if you leave him on his own in there, I think you've got carnage.
I do know what you're saying, but I think there's more of a factor that Maresca might not be up for it either. You don't know yet.
I think he's up for it.
You reckon he's up for it?
I think he's up for it.
We'll see.
He knows that club. He's been at that club. He understands how that club
You're
works.
talking like a real Manchester City supporter.
He went to Chelsea. He did.
Are you Blackburn? You're a Blackburn fan, yeah?
Yeah, hold on a minute. We'll talk about their dismal summer in a minute.
What about the other teams?
Why are you doing this? Why are you deflecting?
Well, I'm just trying to say.
All I was doing was talking about the Premier League title race. That's all I was saying. And I was just saying that the big impact, the key piece of information for me is Rodri being a Man City player throughout the whole course of the season. And if he is, Manchester City will win the league.
Cool, but that's a shout.
Do you not think so?
So where was he last season?
Getting back from his ACL, mate. Do you not think so?
No, listen, mate.
So you're tipping Arsenal. You think so? You believe in what I said at the start of the show, that you believe that we're entering a dynasty time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't hang my hat on it.
Shut up, Paul and Blue can tell. Remix, I go make them heads swell, yo.
Spice Girls again.
Yo, hey, yo, dirty.
Spice Girls? My backside. Good morning, you're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. Go on, name it then.
Don't know.
Big time.
I don't know.
Shona Bola.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Blue Cantrell, that was a tune, to be fair. Absolute tune. Reason we're playing it, because 23 years ago in this month, MySpace came out. You don't even know what MySpace is, do you?
Well, you got your space and I got mine.
Oh dear. You have been on fire with your dad jokes today, so you really have. There's actual chat.
So come on in, tell me.
MySpace might be coming back. Social media.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know social media, but is MySpace a special thing within social media?
It's just, is it social media?
It's just a
channel?
platform.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you ever go on Bebo?
No.
I loved Bebo. Oh, I wish we could bring back Bebo and just have a look at the cringe that used to post on that page. Apparently MySpace is coming back. We'll get Cass on it. That'd be great if you got away.
No.
And post your clips and your drips and your fit checks and all that. You need to be on Instagram. I heard Joe's wife deleted his Instagram the other day.
Well, I wasn't using it. I've never used it. I did have it for a little while, but I wasn't. People asked me to put some quotes on it, and I just didn't want to do it.
Cass is one of those guys who had like thousands of followers, didn't follow anyone, and then deleted the account. All right, big time.
No, it wasn't big time. I didn't do it.
Big time.
You've got to call my wife big time.
Joe, you're big time.
Yeah, she is big time.
I wouldn't say it to her face though.
I would.
And divorce number 4 is pending. Time now to get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to reward the fans this summer. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Dave Stevens is here. Morning, Dave.
Good morning, Shebahn. Morning, Cass. How are we doing?
Oh man, you're glowing. Look at your tan.
Yeah,
You
are so tanned.
Yeah, it looks like it's got a bar full of chocolate water and you're just getting in it.
Yeah,
Dave.
you look well bronzed, Dave.
The sun came out again yesterday and I was out walking the dog and I probably should have put a little bit of sun cream on, but anyway, too late now.
To be fair, you're always out sunning yourself at the race courses, aren't you?
Well, I'm working, Shebahn. I'm working.
Forgive me.
At the race courses. Let's just get that straight.
That is very true.
So you're working today. Is it Carabao Cup, the main thing? I mean, there's a lot of good racing as well.
Well, last week you cancelled Scottish football, Cass, so
Yeah,
I'm surprised
out
you
of order.
haven't cancelled the Carabao Cup today. Yeah, look, it's a strange start to the season, isn't it? Obviously, very sort of stop-start, and we're into the Carabao Cup. And as always, I suppose you want to be seeing team selections before you get too involved in this. But there's loads of games, Cass. I tried to pick out just a few. Apologies to the fans we don't mention, because there will be plenty. But start with one of your old clubs, Cass, Millwall.
Yeah,
London
QPR.
Derby, travelling across to QPR. 5-4 Millwall, 5-2 the draw, just over 2-1 QPR. Millwall, great season last season, albeit ultimate disappointment. But I suppose, yeah, as a player, Cass, I don't know if you're ever in this position where you're playing a cup match before the league stuff starts, but what can we expect from some of these teams today?
Well, the managers want their teams to be up to speed immediately. This is, they might say, OK, when the season starts, the championship and gets underway is more important. But for the manager, he'll want them to be ready now. So you wouldn't get away with anything. Honestly, where we are now, even if it's a cup game and they might make, some decision on who plays and who doesn't, but whatever team he selects, the manager wants a team that's going to be really competitive.
It's interesting. I was reading one of the match previews in the Racing Post, and it's about, we can expect these teams to be rusty. And you think, well, how long have they actually had? Players shouldn't really be rusty, should they? After a few weeks off, am I being harsh on them?
Well, what are they going to be? But the start of the season, if they're rusty now, they'll be very rusty by next week.
A few other. Aaron Ramsey at Oxford. A tough summer for Oxford. They are favourites, though, to win at Leyton Orient. 7-5, 9-5, Leyton Orient. My team, Portsmouth, go to West Ham. And we heard from the West Ham manager, Portsmouth will take thousands to this one.
Yes.
Obviously, at the London Stadium. We've got a new, exciting Serbian striker, Shebahn.
Go on.
I can see you hiding your surprise. We paid $3.5 million for Marko Milovanovic from Almeria. I'm not getting you here, am I?
Well, I'm interested. Portsmouth fans are very much so interested. Do you think he can get the job done, though?
He's 3-1 to score at the London Stadium. 9-2 Portsmouth, 8-15 West Ham, 7-2 the draw.
And it's live on talkSPORT 2, by the way. I'm glad we've got that commentary, because talking about what managers will want this season is West Ham. Nuno will want them off to a winning start, but the fans are crying out for it,
Yeah. This, again, Cass, a sort of tournament that West Ham should be looking to have a run with? Or is it already the old cliche that the league is their priority?
Well, Nuno, look, you've been relegated. All he's trying to do is get a squad together that's going to be competitive, whether it's in the cup competitions or in the league. The priority is obvious, getting West Ham back to the Premier League. So if that helps, there's nothing wrong with having a great cup run. I mean, I've had a few myself, made the final in '94 with Chelsea, and it's just great for the atmosphere within the camp. And cup runs do that, just keep it going. Everyone comes in on the Monday morning, bit of a smile on their face with big games looking forward to,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was the stat earlier? No non-Premier League side has won this since '91.
That's correct.
I have to say that did surprise me, because I don't know why you sort of feel it to, but it just goes to
Wednesday.
The big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the new Sheffield Wednesday owner in next week, haven't we? David Storcher's going to come in the studio next week. Should be interesting.
Good,
Talk to us about the racing coming up today then.
Yeah, really good Saturday, actually. It's the Shergar Cup at Ascot, which is a team competition, and it is a lot of fun. There'll be a huge crowd there of young racegirls, particularly, where Europe take on GB and Ireland, take on rest of the world, take on Hong Kong. And the exciting news is Ryan Moore, who generally, I think, is regarded as the best jockey in the world. He's making his first appearance in the Shergar Cup for 20 years. He's 7-4 favourite to be the leading rider at it. We've got a Coral Racing Club runner up at Ayr tonight, Phoenix of Dreams. He's well named because he does have comeback after comeback. He's probably the clumsiest horse in training, this horse. He's always knocking himself around the yard and everything. But he goes tonight. And the Cricket 100, actually. A couple of good games today. The top two men's teams, MI London and Trent Rockets. That's a close match, 4-5, London, Trent Rockets, even money. And Southern Brave versus Manchester Super Giants, equally close, even money, 4-5, Manchester Super Giants. So as we creep towards the Premier League starting again, there's still plenty going on today.
Okay, Dave, are you out and about enjoying yourself, or are you at the racing? What are you doing?
I'm actually heading not far up to Haydock, because they've had a few issues on their track there. They had a hole in the track that's now been fixed. So they're racing back today. But I will try and remember to put some sun cream on. So
Yes, you do. No, keep doing what you're doing. It's working nicely. Dave Stephen, thank you so much for your time. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, begambleaware.org. And please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to reward the fans this summer. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Coming up next on the Weekend Sports Breakfast, we'll look ahead to the new Premier League season and today's tie at the London Stadium with legendary broadcaster and Pompey fan Ian Darke next.
Look at Real Madrid. Go and look at... This is the point that I think Gabby was making this morning. I know that he was making it regarding trophies and what have you, but look at the brand value.
180 million.
There you go. Right. That's how big that football club is.
Right, that's a lot.
That's how big that is as a worldwide entity. 180 million, and you're talking about him coming to a club that has 32 million followers on Instagram. Again, these are very basic metrics. Very basic metrics. But Vinicius Junior is in a completely different stratosphere. All this talk about him coming to Arsenal throughout the whole course of the summer has just been manipulation from an agent trying to get the dude a few more quid. That's what it is. He was never in a million years going to be an Arsenal player this summer. That's what it is. It's just manipulating the market. Let's see if I can get some more money for my guy. Yeah. Why would he come to Arsenal?
I said that was agent talk. Agent talk. Just using Arsenal as a
leverage.
A tool.
Yeah. Arsenal are interested. Oh, right, wicked. Brilliant. Arsenal, champions of England. Right, well, let's use them. Yeah. Let's use them. Go back to the table with the Real Madrid lads. Forward. Yeah, he's coming out of contract. You know what I mean? He needs a few more zeros on this contract. Yeah. Okay. We're going to sign Yandy Mande. Let's put some pressure on you. No, don't worry about that. Vinny Jr. ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Is it?
Come on. You can't leave. I just don't see leaving Real Madrid as a... You don't leave Real Madrid unless Real Madrid leaves you.
That's it.
That's it, mate.
Unless you come to the end of your time on your way, son.
Can't have a supermodel girlfriend and you leaving your supermodel girlfriend.
She leaves you.
For the dinner lady. Like, you know what I mean?
The dinner lady? You can't call Arsenal a dinner lady.
Well, it's love, innit? It's love.
Yes, get your hands up. Live football is back. Good morning. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino.
By the way,
what?
Have you ever had any friends or family or whatever see Bruno Mars?
Oh, he was in London, wasn't he, last week?
Yeah. I had a couple of people I know, family who went. They said he was amazing.
Oh, he can move, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's only petite.
Yeah, I know.
Got a gorgeous smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some tunes.
Just wondered, because I know you go...
No, never been, but I do like him.
Bruno Mars, I'm sure someone out there was terrific, because I was hearing that he was some of the best concerts he's ever been seen were by him.
Yeah, absolutely. Can perform, that's for sure. Some of your headlines this morning: Manchester City have agreed a deal to sign Argentina goalkeeper Geronimo Rulli from Marseille for 1.7 million. New signing Josh Magennis headed in the winner in the dying seconds at Wickham to send Stevenage through to round 2 of the Carabao Cup. And Portsmouth travel to the London Stadium. What?
How much was that Marseille player?
1.7 million.
He can't play the game. I don't recognise his name.
Sounds well, the way I butchered it probably doesn't stand. Geronimo Rulli.
Really? Okay, well, that's probably cheap from
He's
Marseille
actually our
player.
next guest. Yeah, from Marseille, 1.7 million. Never heard of him?
Well, he must be doing the grass, cutting the grass.
Oh, well, he's at Man City now. Fair play to him. And also Portsmouth travel to the London Stadium today to take on West Ham in the EFL Cup. Pompey boss John Mousinho knows how vital the away support has to be if they want to get a result today.
It's going to be massive. I think the away support, you could see it away at Darmstadt last week, and what the club means to all of the fans and what the fans are willing to do, not just in terms of money spent, in terms of time and travel and effort. And hopefully, I think we all did have a good time in Darmstadt last week, which was great. And hopefully we can give them another, a good time in the capital as well. I think it will be a really good occasion, and we're really looking forward to it and relishing the whole afternoon.
As are we here at talkSPORT, 3 o'clock. Over on talkSPORT 2, West Ham take on Portsmouth. We've got live commentary of that one from the Carabao Cup first round, and who better to preview this game for us than legendary commentator for ESPN and Portsmouth fan Ian Darke. Good morning to you, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Good morning, Siobhan. Good morning, Tony.
You good? Well, I was going to ask you first, Ian, because you was out in the World Cup as well. I mean, before we go anywhere, we've got to ask you, what did you make of it all?
I enjoyed it personally. I mean, not the hydration breaks, certainly not Infantino's playing lapdog
Everyone loved him.
to Donald Trump. But yeah, I thought the games were dramatic. It was a good World Cup, I think, on the pitch. But obviously, there are one or two other issues which we're hearing about all the time now, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, it's a tough one because it does feel from the outside that, you know, the main runners or the main people alongside Infantino seem to be out the loop, that they had no idea what was actually going on.
Well, it's incredible, I think, what's gone on. And I can't believe, really, I'm hearing the Argentinian FA, the Mexican FA are supporting Infantino. I think they need to be telling us exactly why. The only reasons could be financial. So he's gone behind everybody's back. He's gone behind the backs of his own staff.
Yeah.
And I think his position's untenable, but he's trying to hang on for dear life, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. So your beloved Portsmouth, tell us, Ian, you know, how'd you see them this season? And, you know, obviously they're playing at, Portsmouth are playing at West Ham today. And just generally what you feel with transfers that's gone on.
I think you've got to see the big picture with Portsmouth. You might remember Tony Shebahn. They were in the Premier League for 7 seasons. They won the FA Cup. Then the club nearly died. It was saved by its own supporters. 11 seasons in League 2 and League 1, promoted to the Championship, and everybody tipping them to go straight back down. They stayed up 2 seasons. The biggest thing they've got going for them really is the manager, John Mousinho, now one of the longest serving in the league. He's done a great job there. And, you know, and the team have got real character. Twice they've looked like going down and really produced big finishes to the last 2 seasons to stay up. I think they beat Middlesbrough away and then Ipswich at home and then Leicester, you know, 3 games in a row to get out of trouble at the back end of last season. So, you know, the club, I don't think they'll be among the favourites to go up from the Championship. The budget's pretty low, but there's plenty of fight and the supporters are fantastic. 9,000 going to West Ham today.
Oh, that's it. I mean, Dave Stevens, who is our odds guy at Coral, he's saying they'll always take a big crowd with them. And that's the thing. West Ham are looking for such a positive start for their season as well. So it should be, on paper, a cracker of a game. With your job as well as a commentator working for ESPN, you know, how difficult is it to always stay across your team and make sure that you're following them everywhere if you're working at the same time?
Yeah, it can be difficult, but of course there are a lot of Tuesday night games going on in the Championship. So I managed to get to a few of those. Yeah, no, there are clashes. Of course there are. You'd like to see the team more than you do. You know, I was born in Portsmouth. I was born in a hospital next to the ground a long time ago, too long ago really now. But you know, so I'll always be rooting for them, and I'll be there when I can.
Yeah. And you do a lot of work on Premier League. Arsenal, the winners last year, just still see them as the favourites, and just generally the Premier League.
I think, you know, it's a strong Arsenal team still, isn't it? Especially with Guimarães now added. It'll be interesting to see whether they enter the race for Barcola, the French winger.
Yeah.
Because he did well at the World Cup, and now they're not going to get Vinny Jr. Don't think that was ever going to happen. So it could be a bit of a race between Liverpool and Arsenal for them. Man City, well, Enzo Maresca, isn't it, starting off? You know, is he going to win the hearts and minds of that squad? It's going to be a different vibe and a different feel, I think, at Manchester City. Chelsea, I think, are interesting. No European football. Xabi Alonso, forget what happened at Real Madrid. He's a really good coach. Morgan Rogers added. They might surprise a few people. Manchester United, I can see them doing well again. You know, I think Michael Carrick did a great job, and they've strengthened in midfield. So I think United can continue their revival.
Yeah, you look like you're in a nice place just now. You know, you're having a wee break post the World Cup. That's a nice view.
Just having a wee break, and that's a nice golf course behind it. This is not radio, is it? We'll have to tell people. Yes, I'm near a golf course in Spain.
It looks absolutely glorious. Listen, hopefully it's an exciting season ahead in terms of the return of the Premier League in a couple of weeks and all the teams you mentioned there. I mean, on paper, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Especially with the amount of new managers in there as well.
Well, Siobhan, everywhere you look in the Premier League, and I'm sure you've spoken about this on the show already, you're looking at new managers having their first full season in the Premier League. So I think there are a lot of question marks, which makes it more intriguing for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, you go and enjoy yourself around the golf. Rest up that voice. You're going to need it for a big season ahead.
Thank you very much
Cheers,
indeed,
Ian.
Tony and
Bye-bye.
Siobhan. Always
Bye-bye.
a pleasure.
All the best to you, ESPN commentator and Portsmouth fan Ian Dark with us this morning. We're going to speak to a Spurs fan in just a minute. I can't correct people. Who on earth am I to say that's it's actually Shebahn?
I know.
It's brilliant,
do,
though.
Do you know what? I'm
dying.
I tell you, Shebahn, right? Jack Charlton would get asked. He got names so ridiculously wrong, right? He did it to players he had in his team. And if you corrected Jack, if you said, "Oh, Jack is," it's how you know you're bloody mean. He literally shout at you.
Yeah,
so it's a weird one because I think you handle it perfectly. Where you do you say it's Shebahn?
No, you
No,
don't.
exactly.
You just eat it and you go. It's a bit of a weird name actually. And Mum and Dad, you dropped a clang.
I quite like Shebahn. I quite like Shebahn.
Shebahn. Do you know what? I knew what you meant. Just call me Shebs for short, if that's easier. They'll still manage to make it.
Look, how many names do we get? There's, how many pronunciations of names?
I love everybody on the text. Morning, Shebahn.
We knew it's coming.
He's such a legend as well, and I'm like a fangirl. And he's like, "Hi, Claire."
Do you know one I don't like is when people say, "Oh, Cascarino."
You don't like that?
I say I don't like it. It just feels a bit, I don't know, too strong.
A bit passive aggressive.
Well, Cascarino. Instead of saying Tony, they know I'm Tony, but they'll just go Cascarino.
Yeah. At least they're not calling you Tommy. That's where you could go wrong. We can speak to a Spurs fan with us now. 03717223344 is the number. We've been asking you who needs to step up at your team this season. Wayne is with us now. Good morning, Wayne. How's it going?
Hi, Wayne.
Good morning. I'm very well, very well. Hello to the both of you.
Good to hear you.
Top 8 this year. Got to be top 8 this year.
Oh, I mean, top 8. I feel that you would have been aiming for a wee bit higher than that, or is that getting a wee bit carried away?
Get carried away. Don't punch above your station. We ain't that good yet. Possibly 6. I'm thinking, I'd love top 4, but that's never going to happen. Not this year. Maybe next.
Wayne, who needs
We've
to
got a good
step up?
manager.
Who needs to step up in your team?
Who needs to step up in the team this year? I don't think Van der Ven had a great season last year, but I think that could have been with not the great team that we were playing with. Romero has to go, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. I love him, but he's just an accident. He's a hothead waiting to happen. But Porro's got to step up more this year. We need a forward, drastically need a forward.
Do you know what you said there? That was really, I mean, because to be honest, what you said there, you didn't mention players with injuries, but you mentioned 2 players who are absolutely, I mean, you watch Porro in the World Cup and it's like, wow, how well he played.
Different class.
Yeah, absolutely. Cucurella was a bit like that for Chelsea.
Yeah.
He didn't play nowhere near like he did at the World Cup. Yep. And Van der Ven, I'd say to you, another great shout because you could have easily gone for Matthias Tell or someone, all these different players who had been injured, Solanke. But no, you've mentioned 2 players who stayed fit who didn't really play as well. It's a really good shout.
Wayne, thank you so much for your call. Keep these coming in. Coming up later, former FA chairman David Bernstein is going to join us to discuss what might be next for Gianni Infantino. Coming up for you, we're going to speak to a man connected to a number of ties in action this weekend. Former West Ham, Portsmouth, Southampton, QPR, Wolves and Scotland midfielder Nigel Quasi is on the way. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Keep your business moving with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. T's and C's apply. It's Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. Good morning.
Chris, what about Man U? I fancy United have a much better season. I think Michael deserves this job, and I do think they're going to be up there. I think they're going to push. I think they're going to be strong.
No, I do. I think I'm so happy to see Carragher's just thriving. I think, obviously, having played with him, you know what kind of character he is. He's that composed and he's intelligent, and he's obviously bringing that into into one of the biggest jobs in world football. And I think the run they obviously had at the end of last season, obviously in 2026, I think they were like #1 in points taken. So for him to be able to have a full pre-season, bring in whoever he likes in terms of players and just have that belief, I think there's no one better kind of, steering that ship really. And no, I'm excited to see what the season brings for them.
I think it's going to be an interesting season, Chris, all round, because so many new managers. You don't know what to expect. Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs have spent big money as well. Whether they can try and get into that top 4, and obviously the only one with a little bit of stability is probably Arsenal. But it's always hard to retain that title, isn't it?
100%. I think everyone's going to be hungrier than ever, and it is hard to kind of maintain that. You're now the golden ones that everyone wants to compete and to fight against. So I'm happy for United to be able to have that consistency from last season, because like you say, a lot of players are going to be coming, a lot of managerial changes. So I think United's got the perfect start at the minute, and hopefully hit the ground running.
Show you when you're mine, oh mine, mine, oh mine. Treasure. That is what you are.
Good morning. Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and a man who played in 2 World Cups, Tony Cascarino, for the Republic of Ireland. Bit of Bruno on your request.
Yeah. I mean, I've not seen him. I've just heard a lot of great reaction to him doing his concerts in London.
Got a night out at Bruno Mars.
Well, he used to play poker in Las Vegas. He was a poker player. Yeah.
He's got quite an interesting upbringing, hasn't he?
Yeah, we used to. Apparently, he said. I mean, there's other stories that said he lost a lot of money. But when I first heard about him, this is going back 20 plus years. That he was sort of around the circuit of trying to play poker. So I don't know what age Bruno is. So it must have been, I think, about 2008, 9 maybe. I don't know. So he was playing.
But like you say, his gigs were amazing. We still need to get that on our bucket list. What you're waking up to this morning in your headlines: the Scottish Football Association is to hold a critically important summit around the future of the national game. So it's reported an email has been sent to all Scottish professional football league clubs to attend the forum. It's going to take place in St Andrews on the 4th of September. I mean, considering this week there's been such a conversation, I've seen it all online, about where the talent is coming from. Ali was on Breakfast with Alan Brazil the other day, and we're saying, where are these guys? Where are they coming through? What's going on in Scottish football? You know, there's a real concern that it'll be heading towards a bad time if they don't fix this now. So it's good that they've actioned it. Coming up for you today, West Ham take on Portsmouth. Holds particularly fond memories for a select group of players who featured for both the clubs. We can speak to now one of them, ex-Hammers, Pompey and Scotland midfielder Nigel Kwasi is with us now. Good morning, Nigel. Good to speak to you.
Hi,
No,
Nigel.
good morning, and thanks for having me. Just before we start, Tony, I just want to say thanks very much for your contribution to football and everything you've done in your career and giving everybody an insight into how football actually works. And I was one of the boys from South London standing on Coldblow Lane watching you, Tony, watching yourself, Teddy, Ryan. I had the privilege of not going in for a tackle with Terry Urlock, so yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks very much for everything that you've done, and I'm extremely grateful and appreciative of your time.
Well, that's very, very kind words. And look, great, and you had your part to play in football. So let's talk about your previous clubs. You know what you did, and obviously we're talking about West Ham versus Portsmouth today.
Yep.
So tell us what you think.
Yeah, I think it's a great game. I think West Ham, I think they've really showed signs of intent by keeping Jarrod Bowen. I think that is a huge statement. I think that he's going to lead those players back to the Premier League with the squad that they've got. And I think with Portsmouth, they've galvanised themselves as a football club. They've really given themselves every chance in terms of staying in the division last year. And it's going to be an entertaining game, and really the that goes with the Championship. But I've never experienced a Carabao Cup before a season starting.
No, it's a weird one with West Ham, isn't it? Because as we get, look, they're a Premier League team. Just look at their fan base and what they're capable. I know they're in the Championship, but how many teams can really get 50, 60,000 in their stadium? And West Ham can.
Oh, definitely. Obviously, when I first went into the building, you don't realise how big the club is until you're actually there, and the fan base, the staff. It's a real family feel. It's a real hard-working football club in terms of how they're community based, and it's going to be a great atmosphere. And I think it's going to be good for the supporters to really go in there and see that the potential to try and get back to the Premier League is going to be on the front foot.
Yeah. So Nigel, we're looking at a game today. You was at Portsmouth as well, wasn't you? You done both.
Yeah, I was at Portsmouth.
We better say some kind words about them. You said about me and West Ham. You better get to Portsmouth.
No, obviously, I had a great time at Portsmouth. That's another football club. It's a very tight-knit football club.
Yeah.
The way that they operate in terms of, them coming together. The fans have really pushed them on season after season, and I've been fortunate enough to play in front of them. And when you do go down to Fratton Park, you know that you're in for a game, and if you're going to come away with 3 points, you've definitely got to earn them.
In terms of your situation as well, because you played for Scotland,
That's right.
You? And your son is in the...
Not like your accent, though. Not like your accent.
That's okay. Your son is in the Arsenal Academy now, but he's
Yes.
not eligible to play for Scotland.
No, my grandfather was full-blown Scottish. He was from the Gorbals in Glasgow. So when I played for England up to the old England B, I was approached by Bertie Volks, and he gave me an opportunity would I like to come over and play? And I thought, well, it's very difficult with England in terms of, when you've got the top sides picking world-class players. And he said, could you contribute to Scotland? And I just felt it was the right opportunity for me to really go and showcase my abilities to try and represent a country. And, I'm extremely grateful for that. And, the fans and the supporters have took me in, and I was just in a really good place there.
Tell us, Nigel, about your boy. Is he a chip off the old block? Has he play your position, or has he got go on?
Do you know the thing about it is I always kind of look at it in terms of him being in an academy system, and I'm a firm believer in that. He's got his mum's surname, and I wanted it to be like that because I wanted him to open his own doors. I wanted him to perform. I wanted him to be able to find a way and navigate through the system in terms of being in the right environments. And he's managed to do that. He's at Arsenal. He's been there for 2 years. He'd been given opportunity to explore with other football clubs, and he felt at home at Arsenal, and they've been terrific with him. I don't get involved in it. I feel that if he's going into an environment with people that are well trusted in developing players like they are, then and taking time away from their families to make him better, then why do I need to be the one that sort of has to have an opinion on him? My main support is I'm your dad, and you go and be in an environment and make sure you listen and learn. But no, he's
What position, Nige? What position?
His name's Braden Clark, by the way. Braden Clark.
Braden Clark, yeah. He can play left centre back, right centre back, right back. His mum says he can play as a 6, so she's been around it long enough. But he's got that flexibility. Brilliant. He's got that flexibility, and just go and play, go and enjoy it, go enjoy life. He's got an opportunity to go out the front door and have somewhere to go, and not many kids get that. So that's all I want him to do is just be in an environment where he can listen and learn and get better as a person, not just a footballer.
It's funny because I watched a clip on TikTok. I was going down the rabbit hole, and there was clips of guys getting in the car when you finish training and your dad's there, and it's like, who do you think you are, and all this kind of stuff, and your dad's whereas your take is totally calm. It's like he has to learn himself.
Well, I was about to say, I've got a 10-year-old, Nigel, and you see sometimes on the sidelines watching Sunday football, and you've seen parents go absolutely ballistic, and I'm sitting there saying nothing. Well, I do say something afterwards, but I do it in a way that you're talking about, which is supporting more than just trying to tell him how to play his game while it's on. There's nothing. I remember having an argument with my dad when I was playing. I actually told my dad to shut up because he was driving me mad, kept shouting. But that, you've got to try and stop that.
Yeah. Well, I like how you put that.
I think with myself, when me and his mum were at the games, we're there to sort of zip our coats up. You go and play, mate. Go and enjoy life. Not everything's going to go your way, but I was very lucky myself to come out of South London, and Ray Wilkins gave me an opportunity in life. And the first thing that he said to me was that, football didn't choose you. You chose to play football, so respect the game at all times. And I just feel that for him, he's gone out the front door. He wants to go and have his career. I don't play.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's his responsibility. Even when he gets in the car, it's not football. It's, what do you want to do? Do you want to go and is there something that you want to do, because he's had a hard week, and he just needs us to be parents. And like I said, he's got people in the football club that are taking their time away from their families to help him get better. Why do you have to interfere?
Well, we look forward to seeing more of Braden Clark. Listen, Nigel, thank you so much for coming on this morning, and good luck to you.
Cheers, Nigel. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks very much for your time.
No, all the best. Thank you. Former West Ham Portsmouth midfielder Nigel Quasi with us this morning. Coming up for you in the next hour here on Weekend Sports Breakfast, we're asking whether Gianni Infantino can cling on to power in the face of UEFA's boycott. And we'll look ahead to a huge night of boxing on the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning.
Saying good morning.
Good morning, Shebahn. Akbar Lahore. You're making me boil right now. I can't stand you, mate.
Oh.
What have you won? What have you actually won, Gabby? You've not won nothing.
Yeah.
All you keep doing is just criticize Arsenal. What have you actually won?
Nothing, mate.
It's actually funny that I used to like you as a striker, but now I can't even. I don't know what I used to see in you, because you won absolutely nothing. And Arsenal are going to win stuff.
You
They're going to win.
like me, you said.
Yeah, I used to. But now...
What did you like about me, though, before?
Now he's your big gob. Sorry to say that. He's criticizing Arsenal. But you just don't see how Arsenal are actually making... They're going places right now. We've just won the Premier League. You just even don't appreciate that we did that, because you just don't hate Arsenal. That's your issue.
I love Arsenal.
No, you don't.
I do. Thierry Henry is my favourite player. I've got his shirt that I wear at home.
Don't insult my intelligence, Gabby, please.
I love Arsenal, mate.
No, you don't.
I do.
You don't. Right, let me finish by saying this.
Okay.
Why will not what's his name, Vini, not come to Arsenal? Because
it's
we
Arsenal.
actually building that team. Because we are building. Why should he stay in Real Madrid? Especially what
Real Madrid
happened between him and Jose. Never. You know what? I don't know if I'm gonna get anywhere with you, but I said what I wanted to say.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road, not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards. So do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Hello there, good morning, happy Saturday to you. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name is Shebahn Aherne, alongside former Chelsea striker Cascarino.
Morning, Siobhan.
Loads of EFL Cup action today across the talkSPORT network and managerial debut for Oxford United boss Aaron Ramsey.
We've had a really good, solid pre-season, so for us now to finally have the chance for the season to kick off, I'm really excited, and it's helped with seeing the quality in that squad and seeing that come to life over the last few weeks. It definitely brings that excitement level up a notch.
And you'll be excited to hear that talkSPORT's award-winning coverage around the grounds, GameDay Live, is back today with Adrian Durham from 1 o'clock here on talkSPORT. All of the action from the first round of the EFL Cup. In other news, Gianni Infantino is clinging on at the top of FIFA despite UEFA maintaining their World Cup boycott. Norway have called for the president to resign after his attempt to sell off stakes in the World Cup to private investors.
This is a very, very bitter and public defeat for him, and has caused immense ructions within FIFA and the football community.
Times journalist Martin Ziegler there, former FA chairman David Bernstein will join us shortly for more on that. And live on talkSPORT 2, West Ham take on Portsmouth at the London Stadium. West Ham fans, Portsmouth fans off to the game. Good morning to you. Let's hear from you. 03717223344. The manager from West Ham, Nuno Espirito Santo, is looking forward to his first competitive game of the season.
Tomorrow we're gonna again beat the record in this, attendance for the first game of the Carabao Cup. Portsmouth also is going to bring a lot of fans, so we are delighted with our fans, and it's up to us to give back them.
Live football is back. It's a brilliant day for football fans. We are live for you here on talkSPORT, the London Stadium, 3 p.m. on talkSPORT 2. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning. Yep. talkSPORT 2, West Ham Portsmouth at 3 o'clock, 5:30. We've got Colchester against Southampton. And like we say, Adrian Durham back at it. Back off his backside after his post-World Cup break. And out and about today across absolutely everything. Also the return of the National League as well, which is getting a lot of messages this morning. 81089. Yes. You can keep these coming in. Let us know where you're headed today. So let's go back to the story that's been dominating since the World Cup. Norway have called on Gianni Infantino to resign following his aborted attempt to sell off stakes in the World Cup to private investors, despite support for the FIFA president from Mexico and the head of South America's football governing body. Cass, were you shocked about the support that you've heard from him over the last few days?
Well, it from the outside, it sounds really strange. I mean, Gianni is... Martin Ziegler's been all over the story. Chief sports reporter for the Times. All over it, and he's called it for what it was. It seems within the camp that, the high-ranking members of FIFA had no idea, and there was more junior staff that were more in the loop. That sounds a crazy idea. So... it's in the paper today. He's talking about it, saying that Arsene Wenger and Kevin Lamore, who's head of recruitment, a chief operator, for FIFA, Arsene Wenger's head of recruitment. And it's like, wow, how did they not know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Women's Under-20 World Cup is due to start in September, and it could be drastically affected by this boycott. We've got more on this now. Former FA chairman David Bernstein is with us this morning. Good morning, David. It's good to see you again. I mean, it's madness, this story. It's just such a mess.
Well, it is a mess. It looks like there's a real schism now in world football. We've got the African countries going one way, we've got UEFA going the other, and this has got to be brought to a conclusion, I think, fairly quickly, because it's going to be really damaging for world football. So we need to see where it goes. But I think my personal view is that UEFA, having taken a strong line so far, need to really reinforce that and push really, really hard. And I think they need to maintain their threat not to play the countries of UEFA, not to play in FIFA competitions until this is concluded, and until Infantino goes.
Well, David, it seems for it really clear that, obviously Argentina gave their back into Gianni, and then also Mexico. And so there was a bit of support that came late at the door, wasn't it? From the at the start of last week. We go back, it was like crazy. Like on Tuesday, it was a big thing. and then by Friday it was dead in the water the week before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure Infantino's been working very, very hard to try and get people on side, and that's why I say there's a schism now that has got to be resolved somehow. But in my view, Infantino can't continue. He's lost his credibility. He's not a fit and proper person, in those sorts of terms, to lead FIFA after what's happened. So if we believe that strongly enough, and if the English FA and other European nations believe that, well, frankly, they've got to have the guts to see it through.
So, I mean, FIFA obviously felt like they've been deceived along the way as well. People within that, federation, because UEFA have made similar accusations of not being in that loop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was interesting that Infantino got some backing from FIFA management, but it was just the management who were there, and these people are trying to save their jobs. So it doesn't, and in my view, it doesn't really mean very much. The real power here is with the national associations, it's going to, in the end, it's going to need either him to resign, a vote of no confidence, or he's got to be defeated at next year's election. But that's a long way away.
David, you've been involved in football a hell of a long time. I have as well. And I can't think of a more political and the reflection of what happened within the World Cup this summer. That so many things were question marks, whether it was players being allowed to play and bans being rescinded or suspended. It felt like there was a lot going on within FIFA. I couldn't think of more a political World Cup.
No, I agree with you. And, the common thread, I think, through this is Infantino getting too close to powerful people, and particularly the Trump family. And we know the effect of that during the World Cup. And this deal, which, by the way, one of the many things that UEFA are looking at is whether this proposed deal, which has now gone away, was done at an undervalue. Because, as I understand it, the sort of total value put on FIFA for the purposes of that deal was $20 billion. But actually, the real value of FIFA is possibly much higher than that. I saw an article in a very good newspaper saying it could be $50 billion. So, if you add that to all that possibility to everything else that's happened, you can see a constant train of issues here. But it's basically a revolve around Infantino being sort of much too close to certain politicians and powerful people.
And he's been in this business for a long, long time. I mean, obviously he's been at FIFA for 10 years as the president, but he's been around this business and around these people for about 25 years. I mean, he's obviously a well-connected guy, and today we're hearing in the news these allegations of what's happened in his past. It's all getting a bit personal. I mean, he's clearly got a lot of power with the people that he's around. So if he's not stepping down and nothing's happened with his job yet everybody seems to say it's untenable, what is it that makes him go away?
Well, it's got to be. He's a tough guy. I mean, I know him from my time at the FA. He's a tough guy. He's very competent, and he's not going to resign easily. So it can only be what will make him go away is it's pressure at a very, very high level from those in football, from UEFA in particular. I keep saying UEFA because they've got the power of 54 important countries in football, including the World Cup holders, including ourselves, including Italy and Germany and Holland and whoever else. All these countries, you can't have a World Cup without those countries. It would be meaningless. You'd be killing the goose that lays the golden egg, as they say. Mm-hmm. And this pressure going to be brought on him now. By the way, I think these headlines today, which I can't comment on whether they're true or not, about what went on at UEFA a number of years ago. But those headlines are terrible for football. Yeah. They're terrible for Infantino. They're bad for FIFA. And by the way, I think they're bad for UEFA because you ask the question, well, why are they coming out now? Well, we all know why they're coming out now. Exactly. But does that mean there's been a cover-up for the last 10 years?
Exactly.
So this is just sort of sleazy, bad stuff. It's very bad for football.
Yeah. No, David, you're right. I'm glad you mentioned that as well this morning. It seems to rumble on, and it puts the English FA in a bit of a predicament as well. Is there anything else that you think they could do or say that could be different?
No, I think on this occasion, I think the English FA has probably done what it could do. It's withdrawn its support from Infantino, which is right. But I think on our own, there's not much we can do. I think we have to solidly back UEFA. And certainly, if I was at the FA now, I'd be working very hard with my colleagues at UEFA to adopt a very strong position of continuing to boycott FIFA competitions until this gets sorted.
Okay, David, we know where you stand on it. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much.
That's former FA chairman David Bernstein there.
Yeah, it's going to rumble, and we're going to find out what happens in the next months. But it's not a good look for football.
I know, and I feel for these under-20s, the Women's World Cup. I mean, that's meant to start next month. You know, if it doesn't go ahead for them, it's just such a shame that then the players who do everything to be in this game then are affected because of one man's ego. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Get complete peace of mind with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. Terms and conditions and exclusions, as always, apply. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll build up to today's live football.
But the Vinny Jr. one was a audacious attempt, to say the least.
Big word for you.
I've been learning this book that I've been reading. I've got these big words in. I'm trying to keep them in my brain. No, but it was always going to be tough, Shebahn. Like Vinny Jr. leaving Real Madrid to come to Arsenal, it just doesn't sound right. As Arsenal fans might get angry, I'll say it, but like, imagine Neymar Jr. at Barcelona. He's not going to leave Barcelona for Arsenal. They're always going to come to an agreement. Real Madrid aren't going to let a talent like that at 26. Do you know what I mean? What's he worth on the market? I know he's got a year left, but what's he worth, Vinny Jr.? Over 100 million easily. Real Madrid are never going to let that go. And Vinny Jr. in his mind won't want to leave Real Madrid. Imagine the crowds in Brazil, the people that love Vinny Jr. because he plays for Real Madrid. I just can't see it.
Well, that is interesting because it was my understanding that it was if he wanted to leave Real Madrid. There's never been a he wants to leave Real Madrid.
He's not said it, has he?
He's looking for the right offer. He's looking at Mbappe going, can I get money close to that? Can I get a deal close to that?
Of course.
And if they're not going to give me what I deserve, then yes, I would be interested in what Mikel Arteta is doing. And don't get me wrong, Arsenal are a massive club and they are on the verge of winning the Champions League. They're looking to go back-to-back Premier League champions. They absolutely can, right? They can. So, and I think he would get them over the line, but he's Vinicius Jr. Good morning, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Tony Cascarino. How are you getting on this Saturday? The sun is shining, Cass. We're heading into our 5th heat wave of the summer. Have some of that.
5th heat wave.
5th heat wave of the summer. Can't remember last time I saw the rain.
It feels like it's been hot consistently the whole time now.
Have you ever seen...
So what day did it end, the heat wave?
I don't know. I'm not going to wish the time away. It is glorious.
Feels like it's been glorious for about 2.5, 3 weeks.
Oh, longer than that.
Okay, so
It's been
is that just
glorious
one heat
since-
wave though?
No, we've had 5 now. Back
I
to
know
back.
we've had 5, but how long was the last one? Because we've had 3 weeks of great weather.
Exactly, but I think the heat wave counts as going above 30. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah, something like going above 31. So it has been nice and hot, but now we're going into like the...
So today's not a heat wave, but tomorrow it will be.
Tomorrow
'Cause
goes
tomorrow,
up to
apparently,
32.
31, 32, yeah.
Get in my belly. Listen, there's a clip going around online today where we're speaking there to Nigel Kwasi. His son, Braden Clark, is at the Arsenal Academy. And he was saying, he was totally like, hands-off approach in terms of his son's football, let him enjoy it. And he's lucky to be where he is. Well, there's a clip going around which is the complete opposite, really. It's Cristiano Ronaldo and his son. Cristiano is watching his son training in Saudi. Listen to this.
Henka. He's a good kid. Honest, he's a good kid. Yes, he is. The other ones is more tougher when I have in home, the small ones. This one is no problem. The other ones is... When I was his age, he's a little bit bigger and stronger. I was smaller. I think he will be bigger than me.
Let's see if he has the same hunger.
The hunger is the most difficult.
Cristiano Ronaldo watching his son there play and train with Al Nassr out in Saudi. I mean, he compares everything to what he was. Or what, I mean, even to the size of him, to the hunger. I mean, he has hands-on approach when it comes to his son's football.
Well, that's what Fergie used to do. Fergie was notorious for looking at players and looking at their parents. To, especially young lads coming into the football club, and have an idea of, what they would eventually become, because we do follow, don't we?
But you are following arguably the world's greatest, Cristiano Jr. I mean, the pressure on this young guy, 16 years old, spent his 16th birthday watching his dad at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Score a goal, the pressure on him is incredible.
Well, his dad has always, for me, Cristiano has always acted like he can handle pressure and he can absolutely take it.
Mm-hmm. It's the hunger, though, isn't it? Like he says there, it's the hunger. I'll be curious to see if he can have the same hunger that his dad had.
The hunger of training, giving so much dedication to the game. I think and I'd include myself in that there's a lot of players that didn't quite have the hunger that, Ronaldo's an exception to the rule, having what he did. And yes, he was fantastically gifted as well. But his hunger, deep in motivation, determination is extraordinary.
That's what makes him special.
And it's kept him going to 41. I mean, I didn't think he was particularly good in the World Cup. I thought that Portugal carried him in some ways, but he's 41 years old. So,
Yeah, you wonder about wee Cristiano Jr., where he will go in the next 10 years. We'll be watching here at talkSPORT, continuing on the theme, by the way, of ex-Manchester United players. Former United winger Ashley Young spoke to our reporter Anil Kandola at the Topps Premier League Cards launch. Young is fully supportive of his former teammate Michael Carrick's appointment at Man United.
Yeah, I think Carroll's will be looking forward to the new season. Starting from now, pre-season, he's been working hard, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. The fan base, a tough fan base to please, but a fantastic one as well. So, I've been backing Carroll since he was given a job even before. I know what he wants to do with the club, and I know he's got ambitions of bringing trophies back to the club. So, I'm all for it, and I'm sure that he'll be excited to go into the new season, wanting to be as high as possible. What's Man United is winning trophies, and winning the Premier League will be massive.
You know what it's like at Manchester United cast? Somebody could sneeze and there's drama, and it's always in the back pages, and it's always going around, and everybody's got an opinion on it. It feels very calm this summer, and you wonder if that's a Carrick effect.
Well, yeah, he's had a massive impact at Old Trafford, without a doubt, and he deserved the job. You know, no, we still don't know if he'd be good enough to do what Ashley's saying. You know, achieve winning leagues. Can he do that? And if he did, it'd be brilliant. You know, and a very good decision from upstairs, because upstairs at Old Trafford has taken a lot of criticism over the last decade, and rightly so at times.
I wonder if he's going to get a signing, you know, a big money signing through this window. We know they're cutting down on spend. We know that's happening, but they've also had a huge profit as well. You wonder if you will see the likes of somebody else coming in. Maybe Baliba has been linked to Manchester United for quite some time.
Yeah, look, when you get enough revenue and you can be competitive and you can play the going rate, which United can do generally because they create so much money, a bit of success in the Champions League, deep run in it, and also challenging for the Premier League. I don't think they'll challenge for the top spot, but I do think they've got a very good chance again of being a Champions League team because they're good enough, and the form last year, second part of the season, was terrific from under Michael Carrick. Yeah. So I looked at the season before, you know, Liverpool and Manchester United, how far Liverpool were ahead of Manchester United the year before, and then to see them ending above Liverpool in the league, it's extraordinary.
You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Keep your business moving with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Live football is back today. Are you out and about? Are you on the road? Are you heading to a game just now? You can send us your WhatsApp voice notes 03717 223344 or give us a call on that number as well. Coming up next, we're going to look ahead to a massive night of boxing with our Spencer Oliver. There's a big one ahead. Your thoughts on Vinicius Junior, then Arsenal losing out in that? Were you hopeful or were you doubtful?
Do you know what? I was a little bit in the middle, really. I thought, look, he's a player that would be certainly improve Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. He's got so much talent. But also, he's at Real Madrid, like Andy Townsend said. Why would you want to leave Real Madrid, as Andy says? But whether he wanted a different change of lifestyle and whatever, whether he wanted to go to London, I don't know. But I think what he's done, he's played the market, isn't he? So he's gone, right, we know Arsenal are interested. His agent's probably going to Real Madrid. Well, Arsenal, we're thinking about going to Arsenal, and they've panicked a little bit, probably got an unbelievable deal now, 6-year contract. And he's gone, right, okay, yeah, I'll stay then. Yeah. Done. And so he's played both sides, really, which a lot of agents do, a lot of players do as well. But I was always 50-50, really. If he had come to the club, great. But if he doesn't, it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely, you move on from it. I mean, it's absolutely dead now. He is staying at Real Madrid for 6 years, as you mentioned. But, you know, how important was that to get that idea that Arsenal were starting to flirt with world-class players, with somebody who would be a marquee signing?
You've got to do that. You've got to do that.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, you've got to do that.
They've done it. The champions got a final. You know, why wouldn't you?
And the club's in a really good position at the moment with finances and whatever. I mean, Josh Kroenke's really, really stepped it up another level really now and he trusts the manager Arteta to say, right, you know, we're going to really go with him and see what he needs.
weekend sports breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and Sporty Spice himself, Tony Cascarino, and here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. 10 o'clock, the warm-up returns with Max Rushton live here from London Town alongside Charlie Baker, and it's the return of Game Day Live. Adrian Durham and the team going all around the grounds from the Carabao Cup. They've got all of the previews, they've got National League as well, and all of the goals as they go in this afternoon as well. Adrian Durham back in the hot seat from 1 o'clock today. 5 o'clock, Transfer Insiders. Will Gavin and Rory Jennings will be here, and then 8 p.m. it's live boxing. We've got Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson live in Leeds. Over in talkSPORT 2 live Carabao Cup commentaries to look ahead to. West Ham against Portsmouth, that's a massive game today. 3 o'clock on talkSPORT 2, and at 5:30 at Colchester take on Southampton. Be sure to keep it talkSPORT whatever you are doing today. You can watch us live on your Samsung Plus TV. You can watch us live in the studio on the talkSPORT YouTube channel as well. You going to dinner tonight? You got plans with friends? Make sure talkSPORT is your soundtrack to stay across absolutely everything. Where are you off to today? 03717 223344. John, it's the return of live football. Good morning, John. Where are you off to today?
All right, John.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're great.
Yeah, we're good.
How about you?
I'm very, very good. I was just ringing up just to sort of promote the FA Cup today. It's the first round for the non-league teams.
Okay.
My team, Windsor and Eton, are playing Bristol Farm FC from Bristol. So we're expecting quite a good crowd this afternoon. And just promoting the FA Cup really, because you don't hear too much about the early rounds with the non-league teams. But I think we're expecting like maybe 1,000 fans here today. So I think it'd be fantastic. The weather's great.
Good.
Promoting the FA Cup really.
Well said, John. We're going to get you a producer role here, and you can let us know about the games coming up as well from the FA Cup. Listen, John, have a great one today. Good luck to your team.
Have a great
Cheers,
day
John.
too, guys.
All the best.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yeah, the sunshine different as well today. You know, that way people heading back to football just in a T-shirt.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's great.
Makes such a difference. And then tonight, it's a lot of boxing action. We've got Callum Simpson goes for the revenge against Troy Williamson. It's in Leeds, their hotly anticipated rematch for the British and Commonwealth super middleweight title. Williamson upset the odds in their first meeting, winning by total knockout in round 10. Can Simpson even the score?
Big bad man from out of England.
Down he goes for a fourth time, and Troy Williamson, victory from the jaws of career defeat.
What Callum Simpson now has to do is overcome those demons, that psychological damage that's been done. When he makes that ring walk, gets into the ring, he's going to remember that. Can he do it? Can he reverse it?
I watched the fight back, and as soon as the ref stopped it, he was there doing the ring doing press up. What he's been saying is just being very respectful and, like I said, classless, yeah.
Bad from me barn.
He won the accolades that he won, but I'm still a better fighter. And on the night, when we get to round 6, round 7, that wake up kicks in. It's going to be in for a long night.
The highly anticipated return of these two gladiators.
The new Troy Trojan
Huge one tonight in Leeds. talkSPORT as ever in our top team across it all, including Mr. Spence of Oliver. Good morning, Spencer. How you doing?
Spencer.
Oh, we can't hear you, Spencer. Give us one little say. Are you back with us now, Spencer? Oh, that's weird. He's miming.
He's talking.
He's miming. He's definitely talking. We cannot hear a thing. Don't worry. Give us a
Can you
wee
lip
second.
read? Can you lip read?
Oh, sort that out. There's a huge fight ahead.
It is. Actually, it's a great fight because we don't often see when two boxers come together at super middleweight. Where they had a great fight last time. It was very close, and Troy Williamson ended up getting a big advantage and winning by knocking him TKO as we say.
Spencer.
Am I back?
You're
I'm
there.
back.
Yes.
Can
You're
you hear me
so
now,
back.
guys?
Your Spurs back.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm in sunny Leeds, and it's the big fight tonight, the big return, the longly awaited big return, and it's a great opportunity here for Callum Simpson to reverse that fight and the decision last time out. Troy Williamson, the big underdog, come in there, and he ripped up the script. He really did. 4 knockdowns in that 10th round, come out victorious, claiming the British, Commonwealth and European super middleweight titles against all the odds. It's a massive ask for Callum Simpson tonight to reverse that, you know, going in there the way that he has and the manner that he got beat, but he's super confident in this week in the build-up.
Spencer, I mean, the big surprise for me was that, you know, a super middleweight, Troy Williamson, 5 years older, 34 years old, against Callum Simpson, 29, and you'd think latter rounds that maybe Callum would have the edge. It just didn't pan out that way.
No, it didn't, and I put it down to this, Cass. That's great detail there, because this is what I put it down to. I think Callum Simpson struggles at the weight. He's very big for a super middleweight, and when you get into those later rounds, that's where you feel it. That's where the tiredness and fatigue sets in. Now, Troy Williamson is a former British super welterweight champion down at 154 pounds, so he jumped up 2 weight divisions, and he seems to have found his weight. I spoke to him yesterday, and he said, I was struggling so much down at that weight, and that's why that little lapse in performances where I lost a few on the bounce. He lost to Ishmael Davis and he lost to Josh Kelly. You know, he lost to top class fighters, but he said he puts it down to making the weight. He's jumped up 2 weight divisions, and look at that performance last time out. Here at the Leeds First Direct Arena, where this happened last time, we're doing it again, but you know, he's super confident here.
Well, look, sometimes you get blessed with really great fights, really close contests, and it's a hard one. It's a coin flip to call, Spencer. This is no different tonight. So it's a really good and exciting fight.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You know, I think Troy Williamson was the huge underdog last time, and he's slightly an underdog this time as well, which surprises me, because I know the demons that Callum Simpson will be entering that ring with, you know, and I know how difficult that is to overcome. And he's, you know, and that's not an easy thing. He's going to have to stay disciplined. He's changed trainers now. He's now with Rob McCracken up in the GB squad. You know, he's moved away from his home surroundings, his comforts, and he's doing it properly. So he's giving it a big, big shot here. But Troy Williamson, now he is the champion. That will elevate him to another level. He's super confident now. He was going in there with a lot of unknowns before. Can I do it? I've jumped up 2 weight divisions. Will I be big enough? Will I be strong enough? Now he knows that. He's going to be like Superman entering the ring. So, as I say, Callum Simpson starts a slight favourite here, but if I was a betting man, I would lean towards Troy Williamson getting a victory again.
Tell us why some boxers really do well from jumping up weight divisions, Spencer, and why some boxers really struggle with it. How is it you can get it right?
Well, Shebahn, I think it's with boxers, they all get down to they're all tight at the weight. They get down to the lowest weight as possible. And as you said there, Troy Williamson, now 35 years of age, and your body grows. It's hard to maintain that, stay down there. You know, he had a career at super welterweight, and he clearly was struggling there, because we thought, and maybe he thought, that the fight had left him there. He said that he'd lost motivation for the game, lost purpose for the game, and like he was thinking about retirement. This opportunity come up. He's jumped up with 2 weight divisions, and he feels renewed, refreshed. And that's, you know, and that is the difference. If you're too tight at the weight, it's easy to say I want to get as low as possible, but when you're too tight at the weight, you know, the strength goes, the stamina goes, the tiredness and fatigue sets in. So you're battling against yourself and your own demons. Jumping up that weight, he will feel refreshed. He will feel like, you know, revived. And I think that's what's happened with Troy Williamson.
Spencer, on the undercard, is there any other fights really to look forward to?
Yeah, we're looking forward to James Dean Fury. He's making his debut, one of the Fury clan, a new Fury. Is he the guy to take the baton from the others going? Tyson Fury, James Dean Fury, yeah. It's absolutely brilliant. The kid's super confident. He's like a chip off the old block. You know, he's got that DNA. So there's a lot of, you know, interest in this one. How good's he going to be? He's a 3-time national amateur champion. He's done everything in the amateurs. He's 20 years of age, and we could see a new Fury. This could be the beginning of another big career. So looking forward to that.
What weight, Spencer?
Hassan Azim. So he's at super middleweight.
Right.
He's not a heavyweight, he's a super middleweight. And we've also got Hassan Azim on as well. That's Adam Azim's younger brother. He's 9-0 with 5 KOs. He's looking to continue his career, continue his progression. So we're really looking forward to that as well. Yeah, great fights on the undercard.
And then we all build up to young Fury's dad, hopefully, against Joshua here in this country, Spencer. I mean, the push is on for that this week. Eddie Hearn saying he's doing his best. Anthony Joshua is doing his best to keep it here in this country, but they're sounding out Madison Square Gardens.
Yeah, Shebahn, you know, as much as we all want it here, and I think the British fans are owed that, you know, they deserve that. They've built both of these guys up, haven't they? They've built both of these guys' careers, and they've gone on and they've dominated over the last decade, and they've become bigger than, you know, boxing stars. They're sort of global stars now. They're both big personalities. Of course, we want that final fight here at Wembley Stadium, but I don't think the logistics work, and speaking to certain people and people that are in the know, I think this is landing in Madison Square Garden. I believe it's November the 14th or possibly November the 20th, which is a Friday night. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes, but strong indications that it's going to land in New York.
Oh, we trip to the Big Apple for you then, Spencer. Not too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Have fun in Leeds tonight. It was good to see you, and we'll see you tonight on talkSPORT.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're live at 8 p.m.
Lovely stuff. Spencer
Cheers.
Oliver, our boxing pundit here at talkSPORT, part of our team, bringing you all the coverage, as he said, from 8 o'clock here on talkSPORT. Cash, you could be a boxer. Your weight jumps easily. Saturday night, Fight Night returns to DAZN. Callum Simpson and Troy Williamson meet with the unfinished business to settle. You can join DAZN Ultimate for 185 plus fight nights and a minimum of 12 plus pay-per-view events every year, including Atoma versus Hergovich and Ryan Garcia against Conor Benn, all included at no extra cost with our friends on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Sign up now at dazn.com/boxing.
Put that down, Cass. You're listening to Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT in partnership with Volkswagen Transporter. Keep your business moving with Volkswagen's 5+ promise. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply. Don't you dare come back at me. I'll go mental.
Oh, it's lucky for you. It's a break.
Next up, we'll end the show with a bit of Cascarino. Yes, Cascarino, before Max and Charlie come with the warm-up at 10. No smoke without fire. Of course not. He is interested in the Arsenal project.
Arsenal
if he's to leave Real Madrid.
Arsenal going for Vinny Jr. is like me sending Rihanna a message on Instagram saying that I'd love you to come to the Bullring in Birmingham. I want to take you around Birmingham on a date. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, he's not leaving Real Madrid to come to Arsenal. One league title in over 20 years. Can't win a Champions League in their whole existence. He's not going to come to Arsenal. He's used Arsenal to get an extra 5, 6, 7, 8 million pound a year, and he's going to sign a new contract at Arsenal. I mean, sign a new contract at Real Madrid. Simple. What he's doing. Arsenal been used.
Did you ever shoot your shot with Rihanna though? Did you ever do it?
I might have. Yeah, I might have. That's private business. I might have.
But the point is, we know that Arsenal have made a go at Vinicius Junior, so they've tried.
And maybe I tried, and it didn't work out.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out for Arsenal, is it?
You make me cringe.
No, one league title in over 20 years. Never won the Champions League. Can't sit at the big table of the Champions League winning clubs like Villa, Nottingham Forest, Celtic. And you think you're going to go and sign Vinny Jr., the fan base that Vinny Jr.'s got in South America because he plays for Real Madrid.
It's not.
Rodri's doing everything he can probably to get out of Manchester City to go to Real Madrid. Haaland will go to Real Madrid at some point in his career.
It's not dead yet. Morning, how you doing? It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Oh, people are loving it. The sun is out, live football is back, Carabao Cup action today, National League action as well. We have FA Cup games happening all over the country. GameDay live across it all with Adrian Durham from 1 o'clock. Morning, guys. Me and my son are going to National League South game today. Hemel Hempstead against Chelmsford City. Cannot wait. From Paul and Jamie and Hemel this morning. Guys, have yourself a brilliant day. Keep it talkSPORT, won't you? Shebahn Aherne, a man who played in 2 World Cups, Tony Cascarino, with you this morning. The long-awaited heavyweight showdown between Tyson Fury and AJ will take place where the money is, says Dana White. And the last time we spoke about motorsport with John Jackson, he was in Japan with Formula E. Their season finishes in London next weekend. But this weekend, he's traded 4 wheels for 2. He's at Silverstone for the MotoGP. John.
Yeah, good morning. Here at Silverstone, it's going to be a beautiful weekend here. It's the 12th round of the MotoGP Championship, and for the first time since 2020, we have a British rider on the grid. Cal Crutchlow is back. He is the man that actually was here last time in 2020, and he's back for a bit of an extended stint, but originally he was feeling a little bit apprehensive, as he told me yesterday.
At the start, I said no. I don't know if you know the story. I said no way, I'm not interested. And my wife and daughter convinced me to do it. So they said, you've done it your whole life, so you might as well come back and do it. It's not as if I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I have to say, they did offer me a ride around the track on the back of a bike, but I said I wasn't really that bothered. But Tony Cascarino put his name down, and he'll have a great time. So if you can get here by Sunday morning, Cass, there's a bloke in leathers with an extra suit for you. He's going to take you around this track. In the meantime, if you're not coming down here, you can check out all the action on TNT Sports, and of course listen to the race on Sunday at 12:45 on talkSPORT 2.
Bloke in leathers. Oh, Rishi! You'd rather...
You can have it. You can take it.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of anything worse.
You'd probably rather...
Not getting my legs in a sports car. Or sports car, in a racing car.
Yeah, you'd probably rather...
No chance. I'd be painful. I wouldn't be able to move when I got out of it.
Lap dance instead of a lap around Silverstone on the back of a bike.
No, not for me.
Pass!
You're allowed to do more than 20 mile an hour.
You can watch the full interview with Cal Crutchlow and John Jackson, by the way, on the talkSPORT YouTube channel. Cal in the papers today as well. The headline, I once thought I was invincible. Suddenly, it's all aches and pains.
Yeah.
I feel you. Like I say, talkSPORT's YouTube channel for all of that with John Jackson. And it's time now for this.
Cascari yes or Cascarino on talkSPORT with the VW Transporter from VW Commercial Vehicles. Search VW Transporter. Cascari yes or Cascari no?
On the Weekend Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT.
What?
Cascari yes, Cascari no. Quickfire hot takes from Tony Cascarino's with the weekend's big sports topics. Quick answer, Cascari yes or Cascari no? With a little bit of an explanation as well. Cass, first up, starting with the reigning champions. Can Arsenal go back-to-back in the Premier League?
Yeah, they can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great challenge. I think Man City, probably, if Maresca can get under a good start. I'm interested in Chelsea. I think the top 6. I don't think Liverpool have quite got enough after a difficult season. Man United, no, can't see that so much. So, yeah, they can.
Premier League ledge Mo Salah completed his move to Trabzonspor earlier on this week in Turkey. Do you think it's the right move for Mo, and can he be a success there?
Yeah, I hope he refines his form, really. Just reignites his career, because Mo was just sensational for so many years at Liverpool, and he did suffer with the right-back position being filled by numerous players. Never forged a partnership down the right-hand side last season. Obviously, Bradley got injured. Frimpong came in. It was Dominic Szoboszlai was playing that position as well. I felt like Mo just was never the player he was, months before. So I think it's a good move for him to play football. He's not in one of the major leagues. It's great for Turkish football.
It's incredible. A bit of a shocker, though, for Liverpool fans going, OK, you've left us for Turkey, but, fair play to him. Can't knock the guy.
Yeah.
West Ham open their championship season with a game against Burnley next weekend. Of course, they've got their cup game today, first round of the Carabao Cup against Portsmouth, live on talkSPORT 2 at 3 o'clock. But in terms of their league campaign, Cascari yes, Cascari no. Will West Ham go straight back up?
Well, they will be favourites, and rightly so. They've sold a lot of players. They've got good revenue in. OK, they're going to have to nurture... Oh, sorry, just, obviously their budget is different from what they were in the Premier League, but it's a club that they can entice players to come to. So West Ham should... I mean, they'll obviously be favourites for the Championship. It's just the test of the Championship. There'll be lots of teams trying to topple them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Going to the London Stadium, there's going to be teams that are going to try and, commit and give them a problem. So they've got to have a real solid side of commitment in that lineup, because I just think it's, I'm doing the Millwall West Ham game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing that particular game, and I'm really looking forward to it. Millwall had a fantastic season.
Okay.
There's a lot of good sides in the Championship.
This is it. That's it. I mean, we spoke about Wrexham earlier.
I said about Borough. Borough's a good side. Yeah.
We'll wait and see. Don't forget West Ham Portsmouth 3 o'clock today in the Carabao Cup. talkSPORT 2 for that one. And talkSPORT's Jamie O'Hara claimed he got food poisoning on holiday last week from a cheese toastie. Cascarino yes, Cascarino no. Is that actually possible?
Well, I don't know. If it's old cheese, of course it is. If it's out of date and...
Can you not eat it though when it's out of date?
Well,
So
some
is it not like
cheeses, I'm not... Yeah,
a delicacy?
I don't know. Why am I asking a question that's for a doctor? Surely a doctor would know.
Wait, you're not a doctor? You had?
I never had the patience to be a doctor. Sorry. I don't know everything. I mean, if the food's off, the food's off. And yes, you can get all sorts of things in sandwiches and all different types of food. So, yeah, it could catch something.
By the way, see when he said...
I'm not doctor. I'm not Dr. Hillary.
We know that now. When he
Used to
said
work
it in the
with-
video...
Did you ever work with Dr.
Dr. Hilary Jones, yeah?
Yeah.
I remember one time he had a urine
Ask
infection.
him. Why can't he be a guest and come on? And he can answer that.
We'll try and get Dr. Hilary Jones on. Good shout, yeah. Yeah, he'd be brilliant, actually. I wonder who his team is. I don't actually know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Don't forget, when is Jamie back? Must be next week on the Sports Bar. Cannot wait for the return of Spurs and the return of Jamie O'Hara.
Yeah.
He's actually on Drive next weekend.
We're back. That'll be the first line.
Yeah, we're back. Spurs are back. He's already said that. He actually already has said that. That was Cascarino yes, Cascarino no. Here on talkSPORT.
Cascarino yes or Cascarino on talkSPORT with the VW Transporter from VW Commercial Vehicles. Search VW Transporter.
Don't forget to follow all the football today here on talkSPORT. It's back. Good morning to all of you out in the car. Good morning to Jensen and Sam. Heading off to Leeds with my son Jensen to watch the game. Saturday football is back, baby. Yes, the warm-up will continue to live football. Max Rushton and Charlie Baker on the way next as GameDay Live with Adrian Durham returns at 1. Have yourself a great Saturday. We're back tomorrow morning from 6. Bye-bye.
It's not the end. So glad.
Barcelona are now leading the race to sign Rodri from Manchester City, notwithstanding the loss that would be to City in a new era under Enzo Maresca. What's the latest on that? And is it the case that Real Madrid have dropped the ball here? Because it seemed to be, reading reports, that Real Madrid were in the driving seat with this one.
Yeah, Rodri wanted Real Madrid earlier in the window, and Florentino Perez hadn't decided what kind of midfielder he was going for, which is why several names were linked, including Enzo Fernandez, and Real had to issue a statement saying we've had no contact with Enzo Fernandez. Jose Mourinho came in. Finally, they got the mandate from Perez to start negotiating financially, but Barca have basically hijacked this, although some sources say Barca were there even before the window opened, and it was Real that kind of steamrolled in. And ultimately, Rodri, for family reasons, wants to go to Spain, but we've got a fascinating scenario now. Man City want to keep. Pep Guardiola never used to stand in players' ways, especially senior ones that had been long-serving and loyal to the club. But Enzo Maresca's new, and of course, if it's his say, he'll go to his board and say, keep him. If he doesn't renew, we'll let him leave on a free transfer in 2027. And now Barca are going to accelerate and bid, and they have full player buy-in. So Rodri wants Barcelona over Real